The adventure begins with all four of you are aboard a shuttlecraft. It's called an Aquila lander. It's kind of a boxy craft with these two little downsloped wings, and it is rocketing through the atmosphere over a planet known as Ostia. Ostia is an agri-world. It has vast farmlands, people toiling below you in acre upon acre of green and ochre-colored fields. And you are traveling to an estate of a very wealthy and important imperial noble known as Baron Zorus. The Zorus family control vast amounts of farmlands on Ostia, and you have been sent to secure their support for rogue trader Jakel Verodius. He is having some difficulties with rivals in the system. The governor militants of Gilead Prime is challenging him at every step of the way. And he would like to drum up some more support because he wants to kind of form a coalition of the willing, if you will. And that's why you're being sent here. Also, the rogue trader has instructed you to keep an eye out for a previous emissary that was sent a couple of weeks ago that has gone missing. Sister Aaliyah of the Adeptus Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle. She was sent here on the same mission and has not been reported back. Now, of course, piloting this vessel is Trojan Call because he is exceptionally skilled at these kinds of things. And before you, you can see the estates of the Zoruses come into view. It is a vast palatial manor home. It is built. It's got like an east wing, and west wing. It's got huge riding grounds and all kinds of sculptures and gardens and things like that. But it also has a very broad and, of course, well-maintained landing pad for you to sit down on. So Trojan Call brings the shuttle in. It hits the ground, and as the hatchway door is opening, you guys are struck with the scent of blossoms and incense from the house gardens. Strolling quickly towards you as a man who's clearly on a mission, you can see a muscular, jean-bulked bodyguard of some kind. He has a house uniform on in the livery of the Zorus family, and he has some sort of weapon on his belt that's actually covered in a black silk shroud, obviously some form of ceremonial duties. But he's accompanied by a couple of other servants, and he strolls right up to the door and just kind of glares. His eyes narrow as he glares and looks in at you with an expression, a stony, none too friendly expression, until his eyes rest upon the one with the most natural authority in your group, which would be Commissar Lynn. And he says, "What is your business here?"
We have an appointment with the Baron. We had expected. You will show us to him immediately.
Okay. So the bodyguard kind of tilts his head. You can hear the bones crack in his neck. And he crosses his arms. "The Baron is not seeing anyone today," he growls in his low, sort of dangerous voice.
I come up into this situation kind of putting myself a little bit between them, and I say, well, I mean, it would be at his loss if he was unable to meet with us, because we are interested. We are coming on behalf of Jakel Verodius, and my character has her household like symbol kind of prominently displayed in her front, and she's like, it would be, we might be able to work something out, some kind of agreement of some kind, and I believe that missing something like this would be fairly upset maybe at you.
Okay, well, that sounds like a persuasion roll.
Okay. All right.
So why don't you get a number of dice equal to your persuasion roll? And there on the character sheet, it has a total number of dice.
Yeah, the total is 6. So
okay.
I'm going to roll the 6.
Well, but you also, you're using your badge of authority, are you not?
Yes, correct.
And you have a talent called Peer. Peer means because you are also a noblewoman, you get to add your rank bonus, which is 1, to influence and interaction skills in social situations, which this is. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be at +2 dice on this check.
All right.
This test. And we'll say that the difficulty here is actually 5. He's really not at all pleased with the situation. So you're looking for 5 icons. All right, so that's your roll there. Those 6 dice, or did you roll 2 more?
Freaking my fantasy grounds is not responding.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Oh, we just saw we just saw like 30 dice roll.
Oh, because I keep clicking it and it shows me nothing.
All right, we'll use that most recent one there. The one that starts with a 2.
Okay.
So you have so anything that's a 1, 2, or 3, we just don't care about.
Okay.
4s and 5s are 1, and 6s are 2. So you have 3 5s, so that's 1, 2, 3 icons. And then each of those 6s is 2 more. So you actually have 3, 5, 7 icons. See how that works?
Yeah.
You needed 5 to succeed, which means that you can actually shift one of those 6s to, if you want to improve the effectiveness of this roll, you can do that.
I'd like to say that, or probably I would use the additional success to sort of butter him up. Like, ooh, this could help you out as well. You know, here I am, I'm just trying to help you. Like, establish maybe a good relationship with this.
Okay.
The front guardsman.
Yeah, we'll call that shifting for effectiveness. So you got what you needed to make an impression. Now you're making an even better impression.
Mm-hmm.
So the bodyguard glowers at you, and then his eyebrows start to slowly rise, and you can see his expression soften a bit as you continue to talk about how this could benefit him as well. And he starts to nod a little bit. He says, perhaps an arrangement might be made. Indentrix Lucia is available. That is the Baron's daughter. I will show you to her.
I'll swing around to the
Thank you
commissary's
so much.
flank. And the God Emperor approves. Much blessings will be on you, my son.
All right, both the bodyguards kind of look at each other and then look back at him like, what's going on here? But the large guy, he introduces himself as head lifeguard Whiston.
Whiston. Okay.
And when he says lifeguard, you get the impression he's not talking about pools.
Okay.
I'm sorry, life ward. I got that messed up. High life ward Whiston.
Life ward. Okay.
Life ward, yeah, much better than lifeguard. This is not Baywatch. What am I thinking?
Good players take notes.
Yeah, life ward Whiston. He nods. He says, "Okay, yeah, follow me." And he turns and starts leading you and your group onto the estate grounds. Now, all around you.
I thank him profusely. Thank you very much.
He kind of nods a couple of times, and he engages with small talk with you actually on the way. Just briefly saying, it's been many years since I left Ostia, but I once had a sister not unlike you. I wonder where she ended up. Apparently, you remind him of someone.
Oh yeah, there was someone else, the Aaliyah, and I bring up that name just to recognize it.
Maybe you do, and maybe you are interrupted by a bout of coughing from but you are led into the gardens in front of the estate. Now, the gardens here is just, it is a decadent display. There are topiaries that are carved into the shapes of exotic beasts. There are burbling fountains. There are crescent-shaped marble benches. And you notice actually that surrounding the entire sprawling mansion are these exquisitely maintained hedges of some sort of vibrant red plant. Now let's see. I believe that you, Lady Allarati, you have a computer implant in your head. Yeah. You are very learned about these things. You recognize that it doesn't take you long to sort of recognize what this is. This is called bloodleaf, and it is a very, its leaves are very pretty, but they conceal poisonous thorns. They are very serious about keeping out the riffraff here at the mansion, it would seem.
I might kind of go behind him to the group and say like, the poison leaves. Very interesting that you have poison, and I try and do it stealthily, just kind of bring it up casually up there.
Okay, you're trying to casually inform everyone without
I would also try and say like, oh, there's this over here, there's this thing over here, and then there are leaves, they're poisonous anyway, and just like trying to casually bring it up in conversation.
Oh my, how dreadful.
Okay. Well, that's I think this is not something you're particularly good at, so we'll call this
probably.
stealth roll.
It would be a stealth or
Yeah, we'll call it stealth roll. I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm going to give you one bonus dice because it is social rather than like hiding anything.
I understand.
Kind of your ballywhack. So you're going to roll 5 dice, but you're looking for a 3 is the total number of icons.
I think I rolled, but my fantasy grounds is not doing anything. So all right.
Okay, I see the dice. There it is. Okay, that is a failure because you only have 1 icon there.
All right.
Now that's okay. Like in this case, all that failing it means is that the consequences are not particularly high. I mean, really, all that matters is that the bodyguard turns his head. You're pretty sure he overheard you, sort of warning them about this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually stop anything from occurring.
Okay.
And once you're led into the garden, you're turned over. There's servants, quite a few servants moving around. They're trimming the hedges. They are, they have little sticks and nets that they're using to cleanse one of the pools where the fountain burbles up. And a couple come by holding trays full of sweetmeats and hot drinks that they offer to you. These servants are dressed in robes that cover them head to toe and have the emblems of the Zoras family. They also have these mirrored masks that cover their faces. So all you're really seeing are like black gloves and mirrors that are, sort of distortingly reflecting your face as they offer you this food and drink.
Oh my, these look delicious. Dig in, folks.
Perhaps a certain amount of levity might be appropriate here, considering
A quick prayer to the God Emperor before, of course.
Absolutely.
Now, Cody, how does Trojan Call look at all of these servants and they're offering you, exquisite food and drink, clearly not battlefield material.
Yeah, he's basically just kind of taking this in like this is foolish. Like, what are we doing here? We're talking about poisonous plants. I mean, come on, what is this?
So you're radiating impatience like a bonfire. He's
slowly building up with that explode onto something that needs killing.
I kind of lean over to him, like nudge, like just take the food, shut up, and don't, or just take the food and be polite.
At that moment, a young woman strolls into the garden. She is dressed in this gorgeous blue gown. She has cybernetic implants that have small cables and hoses that are sort of, emerging from the back of her skull and going down into her dress. She looks very thin, like unhealthily thin. And the pallor of her skin is that waxy, like, probably should be in a sickbed type skin condition. But she moves up to you with a very bright smile, and she's got like this jade comb in her long auburn locks. It is a pleasure to meet you. She heads directly towards Lydia Loretta, who's clearly the friendliest of you all. Clasps your hand in hers. I am Intendrix Lucia. I'm so excited to meet you.
Intendrix Lucia.
Yes.
Pleasure. I am Yomala Alreta, and then symbol.
Yes, of course. And she wants you to introduce all of your friends, which you do. Whiston, you may go, she says very imperiously to the bodyguard, who just kind of snorts and turns to leave as him and his men walk away, leaving you alone with the servants in the vast garden. She says, "Tell me, what brings you here to Ostia? What brings you to our estate?"
So, quick question, GM. Looking at her,
Yes.
her appearance, does that trigger anything? I have a little bit of medical training. Apparently, I'm not quite that much of that kind of a priest.
Well, make a Medicaid roll for me. This is a difficulty 2. It's pretty easy.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Medicaid is a skill that covers all of that kind of,
Yeah, so I've got a 5 in that. What do we got? Ooh, we got some successes here.
Oh, hey, and that's a 6 on the wrath dice.
Yes, it is.
All right, so not only did you succeed, you succeeded gloriously.
Can I cure?
Cody, can you please record 1 glory for the group? Because
I've got it here. And by the way, we're doing a quick sound check, guys. The pre-show sound check was everything was just peachy keen. So of course we're having issues as we load into the game. So bear with us as we try to get that wrapped up. We have a glory pool.
Yeah, glory is a group resource that you can spend on various things. Your character sheet actually lists some of the things you can do with it. It's primarily used for adding damage to attacks or increasing the effectiveness of critical hit. You can also add dice to a roll. Like, let's say you're just struggling to succeed at something. You can spend a lot of glory to try and pass a very difficult test, that kind of a thing. But it is a group resource, not a personal one. So
Also,
keep in mind.
Also, just to clarify, when you spend glory, you declare it before you roll, correct? It's not like, oh, I failed, I'll spend glory. It's like beforehand.
Well, no, it's not before, actually. Glory's spent after all re-rolls are made.
Okay.
But the only thing is you have to declare how many glory.
Okay. So
if there's a pool of 6, you can't just spend 1 and roll a die, spend 1 and roll a die. You have to say, I'm going to spend 3 glory and roll 3 dice.
Okay.
And that's it. You're done. All right. So you gloriously succeed, Dave, with that roll. And yeah, looking at the Intendrix, she should be in the prime of health. She has plenty of money and influence and power to be able to afford all the quality doctors and physicians that she needs. However, you have seen people with conditions before that are just untreatable beyond, say, vast cybernetic enhancements. And she is clearly, I mean, without like reading her chart, you can't be certain, but you believe she's got some kind of condition or disease that is probably wasting her away. Effectively space cancer. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Okay. So when I realize that, I'll kind of lean into her and kind of drop my voice down a bit. My child, if you would like some time later so we can pray, I would be more than happy to offer my services and that of our God Emperor.
She turns to you. Her face turns very serious, and she nods her head. She says, "I appreciate your concern for my soul's well-being, Pater. But she says, it is my family has seen to my welfare, and I shall be better very soon."
Well, I'm happy to hear it, child, but my ear is always here for you if you need it.
Of course. Actually, she says, one thing you can do for me. She says, I'm so curious to know more about the worlds beyond Ostia, beyond the system. Have you visited beyond the Heart Worlds? Have you been to the Reach or the Voidmire or even beyond? And she starts to just sort of question you about some of the places and things, and clearly has forgotten entirely about her earlier question.
Well, I will proceed to fill her in on whatever Pater would know, because it's going to be more than I know for sure.
Well, at that moment, I need everyone to make me an awareness test. Dun, dun, dun.
Checking sheets.
Yeah.
And this difficulty for the awareness test is going to be a 5.
So with the 2, we're going to be rolling 5.
I got 7 successes.
5 total, correct?
I'm sorry.
So I have a 2 for awareness. So does that mean I'm going to be rolling 5d6?
Okay, so your total awareness is under the right-hand column.
Mm-hmm.
And for...
Oh, the total. Okay, so 5. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the number. That is the total number of dice you will roll.
And I did it twice.
Well, we'll take the most recent one anytime that happens.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, just hang tight here, Ross. Give me a second.
Hey, that's not how that works. Okay, we'll
So
do
I found.
So it looks like
I got 7.
You got 7, and
I got a whopping 3.
Nobody else got a glory or complication, which is good. Okay, so those of you who passed. Wow, with 7, that's a pretty great roll there, guy.
I am paranoid. I'm paranoid. The priest and Amala are doing their thing. They're in their space. I understand that. I set the tone at the beginning. Now it's up to them to conclude this deal. It's not my job, which means I'm wondering, this red thorny vine is not going to help against power armor. It's not going to help against a tank. It's going to keep people in rather than out. I do not like being in without knowing what's happening.
So there's a resource called Wrath that you gain for good role playing. I would like to give Guy a point of Wrath because that is great reasoning.
It's paranoid reasoning.
And Commissar Lynn, you're looking at the bushes, basically the hedges and things around you, and your eyes are drawn to one of the servants who's clipping that hedge with some sort of power tool, and you see the mirror masked head turned towards your group, and there's an intensity of focus there, and that moment you notice that all of the servants that are out here dealing with the topiaries or serving food and drink, they have collectively focused themselves on you, and it is hostile. Like, you can tell this is not good. Now, you have another 6 that you can shift. Would you like more information?
Oh, absolutely. I think so. Absolutely.
All right. So spending that extra die for more information, you actually get a glimpse of the one that was trimming the hedge. He just goes and drops that tool, and the glove, the black glove that covers his arm up to the forearm, it splits open, and you can see mechanical devices and cybernetic parts, and this long shining blade comes it comes unfolding from inside of it to form a weapon. And he and his companions, they are advancing upon you with these
Carl, be prepared.
Not human. That's the point you get.
So I turn and look at him. I'm like, what? Be prepared. We're having a conversation here.
Anybody who failed that roll, you don't notice it, but it's not a surprise round or anything because the commissar did warn you.
Perfect.
And we're going to jump into combat.
Yes.
Right.
So in Wrath of Glory, we have an initiative system that basically goes. It's back and forth type system. Player characters take a turn, and the game master takes a turn until everyone is gone. Mm-hmm. And the reason we decided to do it this way is we found that if we stuck just to a random initiative, Eldar always went first, Orcs always went last. It's pretty boring. By coming up with a way that actually shifts it back and forth, it allows for some interesting teamwork options and things of that nature. And we will discuss more about how this works later on. Like I said, we're going to play a little, teach a little. So for now, the basics are it's back and forth. You take a turn, and I take a turn. And the player characters in the basic, like if it's not an ambush or anything else, you guys will be able to act first. So one of you acts, and then one of my guy acts. So you guys decide which person would like to act first.
I think the commissar should go first because
the Marine makes sense, but narratively, the commissar is busy watching everyone coming towards them. I'm already on high alert, so I'm going to. Can I draw my weapon and shoot one?
Absolutely. So, yeah, no problem. So you will whip out your bolt pistol. Everybody gets a move action and a combat action.
I'll go last because I was engaged in the conversation already, so I'm like the last person. And
you're like, what?
when she's paranoid, it's like, oh, okay, she's always paranoid. But the second I hear a gunshot, it's like, what's going on?
You pull a bolt pistol, which is a big weapon. It is a serious weapon. Out of your holster, and the commissar, I assume you want to stand up and say something.
Well, I'm going to fire first, then say something. As a veteran of many battles, you shoot first, then you ask questions. All right, so I vaguely aim, hopefully, and fire.
All right, so you're going to make a ballistic skill test, is what you're going to do.
Right, so that's 7 dice here, so that should be that. Oh my God, 3 successes.
Okay, well, I've got good news. The defense of the target is only a 2, so that is a hit.
Oh, thank goodness. That would have been a disaster if my first attack had been a miss. It just sets the wrong tone.
For the whole game.
Blow a hole in someone's topiary. It really
so
does.
Now I want you to look at the damage of your bolt pistol.
Right. It's 10 plus 1 ED.
Correct. Now you're going to roll 1 die for that damage. And because it's brutal,
Right.
you're going to add 1 to whatever that result is.
All right. So
So 2 becomes a 3.
Right.
Unfortunately, 3 is still in the range of nothing added, so it's still just a 10.
Right.
All right, but a 10 is still pretty good. So 10, and my resilience happens to be, I have resilience of 7, so that's going to be 3 wounds. And 3 wounds is exactly how much I have, which means you are going to put this guy down. And I'm going to presume most of you don't know what a bolt weapon is, actually. So bolt weapons, this is kind of a fun moment of teaching. Bolt weapons fire essentially a rocket-propelled shell that has what is called a mass reactor shell. So it punches into something and then explodes from the inside out. And it is, about yay big around. It is not a small caliber. So there's this thunderous crack from the bolt pistol, and the servant that he targets suddenly jerks back as it gets hit by this bolt shell, and there's a muffled like a crump, and parts get blown out from the center. You see bent cogwheels. You see black lubricant staining the ground. You see chunks of flesh spread out in a cone pattern from behind him as the entire body jerks and judders like a marionette with the strings cut, and then the whole thing collapses to the ground in a heap with a hole the size of a dinner plate smoldering in its chest.
This is why the Imperium of man dominates. We have very effective weaponry. I then shout out, Indentrix, call off your men, or you will follow their fate. And then I point the bolter at her.
She looks terrified and surprised. She's like, and she's kind of in shock. No, she's not really acting. She's not actually going to react. So I have 2 more of these beings, these servants, and one of them. Let's see. I will roll a die randomly to see who my attack on. I'll re-roll it if it's 5 or 6. Okay, 4. Well, it comes right for the commissar. Big surprise. Don't turn around. The commissar's in town. So the creature comes rushing directly towards you, and you again see your distorted image in its mirror blank face, and its arm raised up. You can distinctly hear servo motors whining, and this long razor sharp blade glinting in the sun as it tries to smash your face with the blade, like slice deeply into you. And so my weapon skill is going to be a 5. So I'm going to grab this and select, 5, there we go. Wow, that's a terrible roll. I don't think, did that work? Select 5. Do I have to, I have to roll it in the thing. Okay, my bad. All right, so what is your defense?
My defense is 3.
Well, I have 4. So I have a 4, 5, and a 6. That's a total of 4 icons, which is enough to hit you, but not enough to shift anything for damage. So the blade, however, is pretty dangerous. So it actually is going to be an AP of 1, just number right off the top, and I get to roll 2 dice for damage right off the top. So grab this, 2.
You're sounding too excited about it, Ross.
So 9, and I have 1 6 there, so that's 9 plus 2, so it's 11 damage against your resilience, and your resilience is down by 1 because of the armor penetration. So what is your total resilience?
Resilience is 8.
Is that with the penalty or without?
That's with the penalty.
All right, so 3 wounds are dealt to you as the blade slashes down into your chest. You hear this sharp intake of breath, and you may, if you wish, soak that.
I will.
So roll a number dice equal to your soak. It costs you a point of shock just to try, by the way. Wow, you have a soak of 6. Very nice.
There we go. So yes, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Yeah.
Which, yeah, you only needed 3. So you convert all 3 wounds into shock. So instead of taking 3 wounds, you take 4 shock. 1, it costs you 1 just to roll, and then you converted 3.
Right. So I take 4 shock. Right.
All right. So the blade
quick question.
Yeah.
that 6 is the first die. Is there a wrath die for all rolls or just certain rolls?
But there's a wrath die for tests.
Okay.
And the soak roll is actually a roll, so the wrath die doesn't matter on that. But if it's test, like attacks or skill checks, things like that, that is where the wrath die comes into play.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, it would be much easier if we had like physical dice, because your wrath die would be a very different color than the rest. So the point is that what happens to the commissar? This blade comes stabbing down. You may or may not. It's up to the guy. You may or may not hear Victoria Lynn gasp or cry out as she's shoved back up against a gorgeous statue of some ancestor, probably the Zor's family, and the breath is kind of knocked out of her. But the blade does not actually punch through her flat coat. It just it stabs it. It stabs in one of those things, like it pokes you hard enough so you're gonna have a big bruise there later, but that doesn't actually penetrate.
Kill them.
Right.
We're working on it.
That was my action. Now it's your guys'. One of you may act.
I think Cole is about ready to jump into action here. Get already antsy, and at the sound of danger, he's ready to rock and roll here. So yeah, he wants to pull out that bolt gun and fire off directly at this creature that just stabbed our Commissar Lynn here. Get some, and he's just gonna rifle that off in that direction. So, what's my? I'm looking for my attack roll. I see the damage is 10 ED. I don't see the attack.
The attack. So your ballistic skill is the skill to use, and it's the total number to the right of the ballistic skill.
Okay, so it's a 9. No problem.
Yes. Now here's the thing. If you're gonna fire into melee,
Okay.
Rolling a complication could be bad, because you would then randomize the hit. If you wish, you may aim, sacrifice your move, and if by aiming you can choose to that the complication will not be a randomized hit.
Then let's do that, because he's not going to move. He's got a big ass gun. He's fine, and he doesn't have to worry about going into the poisonous bushes. So, so 4.
So make a ballistic skill test then.
All right, so this is 9. Oh, terrible on that wrath die. So we've got
that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, which is great. You only need 2, so you can actually shift 2 of those 6s to damage if you like.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So that's 10, correct? It's 10, so then it'll be 10 plus 1 ED plus 3 ED now, correct?
Yeah, total of 3 dice. So roll 3 and add that to your 10.
8, 9. Okay, wait, one second. So it'd be just this right here.
Yeah. So remember that
another 2.
The bolt gun is brutal, so you add 1 to those results. Unfortunately, it doesn't help you on those first 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still 12 damage, which we already know is more than enough. Would you like to describe how you blow this guy away?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some, as I kind of like immediately am just like almost excited about the prospect of being able to jump into combat here, and I'm gonna just pull up. I'm gonna aim at the last second. I'm gonna just shift over just a little bit away from Commissar Lynn, and then just fire that thing off.
Okay, as is well known, the sound of a bolter firing is daka 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 daka, and the thing in front of you, the clearly not human at all servant guy, is blown to smithereens by multiple impacts. The Space Marine's precise shots mean that you are not injured, but the smell of cordite fills the air, and you may or may not just instinctually flinch away from the explosions that are basically just devastate your opponent.
Beautiful.
Now, let's talk about initiative and glory. One thing that glory can be used for is you can spend a point of glory to what's called seize the initiative. And seizing the initiative allows your side to go again before I get to go. Now, you can only do this once per round, so you're not going to go 3 or 4 times. It'll just be 1 extra time, and then it'll be my turn. So if you wanted to, you could spend a point of glory. Put that in the back of your mind. Cody, the first thing we got to do is we got to address that complication, though.
Okay. Okay.
So we did get a complication on your attack. Can you think of something interesting that would occur? Some examples might be you run out of ammunition. the gun jams.
You know, I think the gun jamming is a little cliche here. So I think that I'm so excited that I almost knocked Pater into the poisonous bushes as I get like so excited to just get this gun out, and the kickback as I instinctively kind of you know, take on these flashes near my face. I kind of lose track of where he is because I'm so used to working with my white scars that kind of sometimes it's hard to remember that not everybody is geared up quite like I am.
So Dave, do you believe that would be a good?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So unfortunately, Pater Navarre, you are knocked prone as the Space Marine whips up his bolter, his elbow kind of like, you're like, whoa!
Hey now there, boy.
I love you, Dave.
And unfortunately, the priest is knocked on his back, flat on his back by that. But that you are prone is the result of the complication.
So I think I would be remiss if I had the opportunity in the world premiere live event of Wrath and Glory 40K to not take the opportunity to be the first one to use glory. And so I would like to use the glory point.
Seize the initiative!
To seize the initiative and
Yes.
give that over to either Lady Ermala or Pater Nemoris, who is currently knocked over.
Because you can't act more than once until you can only act once before the per round.
Sure, sure.
So it is Ben or Dave who's
Yeah.
next.
I will go because
Yeah.
Ben had already stated he was engaged in conversation. I'll go last.
So how are you doing?
Okay, so how far away is this servant?
Well, there's only one of these servants remaining that is about to attack. It is we will say it is 10 meters distance. It was holding a tray with steaming cups of some hot beverage that have now been spilled all over the ground, and there's a whirring saw-like attachment that basically has emerged from the center of its palm and is now spinning up.
How does movement work in Wrath and Glory? Can I get up and move to attack?
Absolutely. So you have a stat called speed under combat traits.
Okay.
You have a speed of 6, which is how far you can go in meters as an action. You, of course, have options to run or other things of that nature. To get to this guy, you would need to run. So that is considered an action. You may take more than one action if you wish. So you could run and attack.
So I want to run at him and draw my chainsaw sword and lay into him.
You can do that.
I don't know what chainsaw swords make. What noise?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
But I'm thinking a chainsaw, you know.
A Jersey
So I
chainsaw.
do that. I roll to my, I kind of take the momentum from being knocked off my feet and roll with it, springing up, and Pater basically starts sprinting and drawing his sword.
Okay, here's the problem. The fact that you were knocked prone, getting up is going to cost you half your move. So at the end of the day, if you wanted to run at him and attack, you're going to be at a significant penalty because of that. So, but you can do it.
I'll absolutely, whatever it takes.
All right. So basically, what we're talking about here, Dave, is that you're going to roll to the side, jump on your feet, whip out your sword, run at him at top speed, and kind of lunge, like a leaping lunge to kind of get to cross the distance. You're like, what we'll say for effectiveness is there's one of those crescent-shaped benches that you're soaring gracefully over like a bird of prey with your blade out. So your chainsword, by the way, is master crafted. You may note that down in the weapons section there. You get a +2 on all melee attacks using this weapon because it is an artifact of the Indomitus Crusade. It is a, blessed weapon. So make your weapon skill roll and add 2.
All right. I say there, boy, I'm going to bring the wrath of the Imperial God King upon you, or the Emperor God King upon you. Well, so there's a bunch of successes there. That's like 8 successes.
Yeah, it's 8 icons. So here's the deal. In Wrath of Glory, penalties don't ever take away dice. They just make it harder. The difficulty goes up. So the difficulty you're actually looking for was 6. You have 8. which means that you can actually shift one of those 6s to damage if you like.
Okay, we'll absolutely do that.
All right, so roll 2 dice and add that result to 10.
Okay, so I have so it's a 9 plus 1 ED.
Sorry, 9 plus 1, correct. So you're going to roll 1 dice for just the weapon, and then you shifted 1 from the attack roll, so you're going to add that, so it'll be 2 dice. See how that works?
Okay. Yep. Oh, double ones.
Yeah, well, even brutal. Brutal helps you because it makes those 1s into 2s, but 2s are still fails, so it's just the 9 damage. Okay, now do you have any? Everybody has 2 things. They have 2 points of wrath starting out. Everybody starts with 2 wrath, and wrath is a resource that you personally can roll. It's our luck mitigation mechanic. So that was a pretty crappy roll, for example. If you would like, you may spend a point of wrath to re-roll failures on damage or tests.
So I'd be able to re-roll one of those?
Both. They're both failures.
Oh, I will absolutely do that then.
All right, so you're going to spend 1 of your 2 points of wrath. Cody, can you keep track of that for me?
So that gives me, so that brings it to a 9. Plus the brutal would be 10, I suppose.
Okay, so you start at 9.
Oh, plus, yeah. In addition to the 9. So
that brings you to an 11. So you see that 6 is a plus 2?
Yep, absolutely.
So 9 plus 2 is 11. All right, and we already know that is plenty. So would you like to describe the kill?
So I leap over the bench there and just bury the chainsword saw right in his chest. And for the glory of the Emperor God.
All right. Yeah, this carefully maintained and luxurious garden is strewn with gore from all of the explosive and now chainsword wreckage that has occurred. You hack this thing apart. Pieces of it go flying all the way across the garden. A little spray of lubricant probably stains the side of Lucia's dress, and she lets out a. It's like just this thing is gutted from your attack, and you are standing there in the silence with the running chainsword. Unfortunately, all the enemies are now dead. So.
Yeah.
The combat is now over.
Okay.
And Lucia is staring at the commissar like,
and it's like, I do not believe. It's like, lady or sister, are you okay? Are you? And I look at the commissar and I'm like, I'm trying to get him with the gun, at least relax it.
I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but we're not putting up with that.
Lucia finally finds her voice. I don't know. The servitors have never attacked us before.
So the first thing, did I notice that when the servitors were attacking, were they going for anyone in particular, or were they just going for the group? Did I notice that like someone intercepted them?
Well, you.
Like, for example, when one of the guys was coming up, did the priest, when he ran over, did he intercept when he was?
No, they were coming for the group as a whole.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Pretty sure. Now you happen to be, by the way, a very skilled investigator, just FYI. So, yeah, Lucia's like they've never attacked us before. I don't understand it. They were trying to kill all of us.
Is she lying?
Why don't you make an insight roll?
Probably.
Yeah. I'm not the greatest of. I just shoot stuff. I didn't.
We'll say difficulty is 3.
Isn't your character the one that decides who gets shot?
I decide who gets shot, but that doesn't mean that I know whether they're lying or not.
I'm not good at it.
Guilty, right?
It's a thing that I do. It's just it's on the resume as a filler.
It's a thing, right?
She seems totally sincere, guy. She's like, I don't. Oh my word! I thought they were trying to kill me too.
Is there anywhere safe you think we should be going?
She swallows. She says, I could take you to my chambers, or we could adjourn to the house librarium, or
it seems a bit forward, ma'am. But how many of these servitors do you have?
Well, she pauses to think. She's like, I don't know. I've never really counted. They're just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. All right.
By the God Emperor, I do declare things are about to get interesting around here then.
All right. Let's.
Mala, I do not think it is a wise course of action to follow this individual anywhere. If her life is in danger, as is ours, we should board the shuttle and leave. We do not serve anyone's interests by being slaughtered in a compound over which we have no control.
Why are you here? Asks Lucia.
We were sent here by Jaquel Veronius about some kind of like trade or potential working out some kind of deal, perhaps.
He most likely wishes to speak to my father, she says.
Yes, yeah.
The Baron. She clearly looks a little downcast about that. Yeah, everyone wants to speak to my father. He's a very wealthy and powerful man.
Where is your father? Like, let's make sure that he is safe as well. Where is he?
Oh, Whiston is his life ward. There's no way that he would allow anyone to injure my father. He is most likely in the observatorium at the very top of the manor.
Okay, let's go talk. Let us speak with Winston. Let us inform him, talk to him, see if he is potentially a part of this. I don't know how he's been with a family, so you believe he is trustworthy, correct?
Whiston?
Yes.
Yeah, so he would do anything for my father.
Okay, we have to notify him about this.
Make an insight roll for me.
Okay. Insight. All right.
Yeah.
So that. So I am a 3. So
difficulty's 2. Hey, you got it. She's sincere, but I don't think she. You get the impression that when she says he would do anything for her father, there's something there. It's a little pinky. But she looks very pale, and as she stands up, she coughs a little bit of red onto her lace glove, and has to wipe her mouth. She's finished standing up. So you came to speak to my father then about supporting this dashing rogue trader of yours. Tell me, is he handsome? Has he come from a long distance? How many ships does he have? She starts just badgering me.
I'm like, look, we cannot talk about this here. Like, we almost just got killed.
Oh, but you're all very strong. You were not defeated. I feel safe with you.
You should feel safe. The question is, do we feel safe with you?
What? How would I possibly threaten you? She says.
Uh-huh.
I'm merely my father's daughter.
Yes, you are merely the daughter of a very powerful baron. Now, Mr. Cole, if we are to go to this observatory, is there any way that we might have an alternative exit plan? Is there anything that you can do with the shuttle?
Cody, did you hear that?
I didn't realize that was directed at me. I'm sorry. Give it to me one more time.
Sorry, Cole. You're the pilot. Cole.
Yes.
Anything that we could do to mitigate being at the top of a tower in a hostile environment?
He kind of thinks a moment. So, GM, is there any like special landing ports up top or anything along those lines that we might be able to debark elsewhere?
Well, this is essentially a futuristic version of a Beverly Hills mansion. So you're on the helipad. Your ship is basically on the helipad. There are multiple levels to the mansion. I mean, I guess you could hover the shuttle outside, but there would be nothing subtle about that whatsoever.
I mean, Cole's not necessarily interested in subtle. I kind of look back over at Commissar. I mean, I have a few ideas, but nothing you probably gonna like.
The fact that we have fired bolter rifles in the private garden with the Baron's daughter and have not yet seen any form of security coming to her aid is highly suspicious.
Oh, throne. Lucius just starts to curse. And she starts looking around, and she gets a little panicked. You're right. Where are my bodyguards?
Okay.
Oh, they were trying to kill me.
Yeah, so we're gonna let's go back. Let's go into the house and see if we can find any other evidence. Like, are there any other murderers roaming around, or are the bodyguards dead, or something like that? So let's go back.
Just a really quick point. You are a member of the Inquisition. Okay, so investigating things is kind of your forte.
All right.
And as a free thing that your character would know to do is you would probably take a closer look at these servants because they were definitely not at all human.
Also, another thing is, would I notice that? So as far as it's very traditional for there to be mechanical servants. It's just that the mechanical servants are these, like, were they supposed to be regular? Like I would talk to her and be like, are they supposed to be regular people, or these are just? It's normal that they're mechanical servants, so they get taken over. I guess I'd investigate that. I'd look into that.
Sure. Well, as a matter of fact, servitors are a very common sight.
Okay, gotcha.
40,000. That is, they don't have robots. They have lobotomized criminals who are basically given like one task forever.
Okay.
That's so dark.
Yeah, it is pretty much. So yeah, you take a closer look. First of all, it's unusual to cover them quite so thoroughly, like with the robes and the masks and things like that. That is already a little eccentric. So you want to do some investigation. Why don't you make me an investigation roll?
Okay, I will roll the 1 die. Oh, sorry, whoops. No. Okay.
Difficulty is 3.
Okay, 1 die, and then 8 die. So that's 9 die because I have a 9.
Okay. We will treat that first die as the wrath die, I guess. There.
Okay. Gotcha.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 total icons, which is exactly pretty much what you need there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, cannot shift the 6 because you need to keep it to hit the 3.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So what that means is you, Alretta, you stand up, you take a closer look at the bodies, and you kind of pull back some of the robes, and you see that the flesh of these servitors, I mean, ordinarily it's kind of gnarly looking anyway. It's just like raw and threaded with
it's the future.
Ports. It's threaded with ports and cables and all that kind of stuff to sort of, basically sustain the organic material. But this flesh is even more nasty. I mean, there is signs of like black veins beneath the surface of the outer layer of skin. There is strange lesions and boils, like even like leaking, like separating boils on part of that flesh.
Like an infection.
Yes, yeah, maybe. This brings you to remove one of the masks.
Mm-hmm.
You put your hand and you pull the mask off, and you are looking at a horrified expression on a human face. You're looking at, kind of a grotesque face on this creature. Its eyes have been scooped out and replaced with red glowing cybernetic lenses. Its teeth have all been pulled, leaving behind just a bloody raw gum. And the skin is definitely, there's something wrong. Like it looks like it's exposed to radiation. It's peeling. It is just awful looking. Now you are not, you're Ordozinos. You typically follow like alien infections and alien infiltrators, things like that. This is nothing like anything you've seen before.
Okay.
However, you have heard from other inquisitors who work on cases of heresy or demonic influence that the signs of corruption on flesh, these guys are just like a step or two away from being mutants.
Okay.
What you're looking at.
I notified the group that they're these corrupted individuals, like almost like mutants.
I take a step up to our good priest. Father Peter, you are a man of medicine, are you not?
I am, and more importantly, I'm a man of faith, and these mutants cannot be abided. We must destroy the bodies.
Now you're talking my language.
If there are more, they need to be rooted out and eliminated. Purge, the name of the God Emperor.
You know what we say in the White Scars? Shoot first, kill anything that moves. Let's do this.
I then lean in close to the father, to the priest. What are the chances of our young hostess here being one of them as well? She doesn't look particularly healthy to me.
That right there is a good question. At my initial glance and observation, I figured the lass is wasting away from some sort of disease, a cancer, if you will.
Isn't that slightly odd, considering where we are?
No, that's that corruption. Once it gets in, it don't come out.
You believe she's corrupted?
So I will step
Well,
up to
something
her
here's corrupted.
and grab her by the
poisonous
face.
tea leaves and all that.
and look really close at her eyes and try and like wherever you would check for corruption.
She's
like looking in her mouth like you might with a horse or something.
While she's fighting off Father Peter, I'm gonna just come up, be still, ma'am. I can just kind of like grab onto her shoulders and help him check her teeth.
Well, she is struggling and crying out for age, looking piteously at Lady Yermala. What is the meaning of this?
It'll be over in a moment, ma'am. Nothing to fear. Or is there?
I demand you cease this abuse at once.
Do you believe in the God Emperor?
You can demand in one hand.
Right? So, Dave, what is your intention here? What is your character attempting to
I'm
do?
looking for corruption.
Well, okay, so corruption is kind of a sickness of the soul that is reflected in the body. It is not like,
looking right through her eyes.
Okay, well, I suppose you would make an insight test on this. You don't have any supernatural means to tell if she's corrupted or not. So.
Okay. All right. So insight.
While they're doing that, I'm kind of talking, and I'm like, I think we need to see if we can talk to the father.
All right. So that is
will have very strong words for you. I can assure you, sir.
That's a 4.
Okay, 4's pretty good. Yeah. She does not appear to be showing signs of mutation.
I'm
from the standpoint of a good look at her body, she seems to be okay.
I will attempt to, like, once he resolves it, I'm going to step up and try and say, well, you have to understand, like, I'm going to try and diffuse the situation. Like, you have to understand. Look, it's like corruption, there's no way truly to know. And so my friend, he was worried about your well-being. And so in order to make sure that you were okay, he did what he felt would help you. We're just trying to help you. That's all we're interested in.
Wow. All right. So that's going to be a persuasion roll.
That is going to be a persuasion roll.
Yeah. The difficulty of that's going to be a 7. That's not easy at all because she's really upset. However, this is one of those cases that if you wanted, we could actually do this as a group. You could actually get some help from the other characters.
Please.
While I'm holding her shoulders for you.
So in this case, we'll call this combined roll. And in a combined roll, only the leader, which is Ben in this case, only his wrath dice matters. The difficulty remains the same for all of you. Each of you may choose a skill, and if you can find a way to make that appropriate to the situation, you may roll that skill versus a 7. And if you succeed, you will give Ben a single dice bonus. And
okay, so like persuasion.
Well, it doesn't have to be persuasion. It could be scholar. It could be intimidation. It could be, athletics. If you can find a way to relate it in a way that makes sense.
So I have a question for you. I would like to try to use my weapon skill instead of intimidation as part of the to intimidate her. Yes, I want to intimidate her, but I don't want to intimidate her by just being like I'm intimidating. I want to like fire off a couple of quick shots at like some of these roses here in the gardens, just like boom, 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 and try to use that or would that be just pure intimidation?
Well, See, the thing is, I'm not sure that's going to be appropriate because he is trying to convince her it's okay, and not.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to convince her to just let us do our thing, but all right, that's fine.
So I will use persuasion. Ma'am, I am just fearful for your immortal soul. We're just trying to help, as my good friend here said. And So 1, 2,
Nice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's like a bunch of successes there.
Yeah, that's 8, which is going to give Ben a +1 for sure.
I'm gonna need it.
All right, so that's you. You are a man, ma'am. It's okay, really. I did. Commissar, do you want to help in any way, or you just
Absolutely. We are veterans of the Indomitus Crusade, and as a result, we understand our business very, very precisely. Now, either this targeted you, in which case we are your only hope for survival, or it was a test of our abilities. Either way, we'll get to the bottom of it. Now, you can choose to be on our side, or you can choose to join them. And then I look over at Mr. Cobb.
Wow. Cody, give that man a wrath point.
Beautiful.
Damn. Okay.
So I think that's the commissar trying to be persuasive.
Okay, so as the commissar says that, that's what I'd like to pull out the gun and just like maintain eye contact with her while I just like fire off a couple of shots to the side into the bodies. right after commissar's like, or you could join them.
All right, so we'll call that. You both are doing intimidation.
Right.
The commissar gets a bonus. You have an archetype ability that gives you a bonus on this. It's equal to your rank, a bonus of 1. So whatever your total number is next to intimidation, add 1 to that and make that roll. Guys.
Right, so it's 10 dice. Let's just do it this way. Boom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Unfortunately, your difficulty was 7. So if you want to spend that wrath point on rerolling the failure.
Sure. How many wrath points can you have, as a matter of fact?
There is no limits, but rarely does it get particularly high because people, it's a use or lose.
Right. I'll use it then. Absolutely.
All right. So you're going to reroll, looks like 6 dice.
6 dice. Right. So that's that one there.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still not. So does that add to the other one?
Yes, it does.
All right. And then we got lots.
And then this will just be an intimidation, which apparently she's not terribly intimidated by me firing off my gun a few times.
Yeah, the commissar's got her attention at the moment. So Ben, you may make a persuasion roll now. You get a total +3 dice from everybody's. I'm going to put this in quotation marks. Helpful action.
All right. So my persuasion, all right, 6, and then I'm working with a peer, so I'm 7, and then I get a +3, so that's 10 dice. So I'm going to do roll the 2 and then the 8. So that's my roll.
1, 2, 3, 4, which is not enough. Would you like to spend wrath to reroll your failures?
Yeah.
7 dice.
So 7 dice. Okay.
That was a bad roll, dude. That was awful. Oh, there we go.
Cool.
That's 11. Oh yeah, way better. Way better. You can donate one of those to Glory if you like.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Cody, write down to Glory. We're up to so 2. You're talking to her. The commissar tells her she better shape up. She better shape up. Lucia is just like, and she turns really pale and like almost faints for a second when the commissar utters his threat. And she kind of grabs onto your coat as you steady her, and you're like, it's gonna be okay. You know, we're just he had to do it. He had to make sure you were pure. And color kind of blooms back into her cheeks as she suddenly realizes this was about an accusation. And she's like, no. What are you doing here? I don't understand. I have nothing to do with this attack. I'm just.
Would we be able to speak?
I'm terrified. She's like shaking in your head. I'm terrified. Something big is happening soon. I know it. But this is far beyond what I expected. Harvest can't come soon enough. After the high harvest, everything will be fine.
What do you mean, the harvest?
The high harvest. It's a celebration. We do it every year. This is the first year I will participate as an adult.
What does that entail exactly?
I don't. Well, for those who are not of age, it is merely an excuse for good food and good wine and revelry through the night. I'm to learn what it is for the adult household tonight.
Go on.
There's nothing more to say. I will find out. I will find out at
You
sunset.
don't have a rumor or nothing? You know nothing about it, huh? All right.
She just
How
kind
often-
of shakes her head like.
How often does it occur?
The high harvest is once a year.
I think, gentlemen, ladies, we've learned as much as we're going to hear. We need to talk to this lass's father.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I
go
can
talk
take you.
to
I can
Winston.
take you to his chambers. I can't guarantee that he will see you though.
Okay.
There's been attack on his grounds. I'm sure he'll see us.
Very well. Follow me.
I
And
mean,
she
he-
starts to.
Also, where are your bodyguards? Do you know? Like, did they just leave, or do you know anything?
They must be with Whiston. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of look over and be like, surely he's not going to refuse a white-scarred space marine when there's so much filth about in his homeland.
Good sir, good marine. What do you take of all this? With all your vast tactical knowledge, why is this place not crawling with bodyguards or in a constabulary or something?
I don't know yet, but I imagine the commissar here will get to the bottom of it. And if not, I'll get to the bottom of it one way or another.
Dun dun dun.
Carl, I
if-
think you should take point. Then perhaps, if you wouldn't mind following him, Father, then Marla, you and I can take up the rear behind our
Okay, that's a good idea.
hostess.
Cole wouldn't disagree with the commissars.
Absolutely, as you wish. Commissar.
No problem, ma'am.
All right. So the interior of the manor house is ostentatiously filled with off-world luxuries. There is fine paintings on the walls of people that have a faint resemblance to Lucia. They all appear to be very wealthy, very healthy-looking individuals. That is probably I would expect that Alaretto would be the first one to notice this. That each one of the paintings is displaying someone in the bloom of youth. They kind of give off like just the image alone gives off a feeling of vitality. Okay. Now the interior of the mansion is lit with candelabras, and there's cherubs flying about. Does anybody? Okay, so in 40K, cherubs are these. Imagine someone cloned a baby that has a metal skull for a face and wings and syringes for fingers, and they fly around sort of attending to small menial tasks. And those are they're basically treated like Roombas. Okay, they're just like a common thing to have. Yes, this is 40K. Welcome
That's a
to the
40K Roomba? That is so fucked up.
The grim darkness of the far future includes cherubs.
Just
he
starts out. Imagine a cloned baby. Just like, all right, I got you.
with a
Then
metal
rip
skull
off its
face.
face and replace it with a metal skull.
Right, and wings and syringes for fingers. And so those little guys are flying around overhead. Their built-in speakers are playing soft hymns to the emperor as they go about tending to basically just cleaning, or you see one that's like impaled a rat on some of its syringes and is flying it off somewhere, probably to dispose of the vermin. Guy, have I just broken you? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's lovely.
And now Lucia she just doesn't even notice. They're essentially invisible to her. She just strides very purposefully forward. She's kind of like in a mixture of both awe and fear of your group, and just sort of you get the impression she's like, I need to see someone about all this right freaking now. So she leads you to a grand spiral staircase that arcs up to these huge iron-bound doors. Okay, and they are carved with each of the doors has like half of the family crest, prominently placed upon it. Whiston, the High Life Ward, standing with his arms crossed, and several of his men outside of this this location. She strides forward. She says, "I demand to see my father at once." She is very shrill in her voice. I can't quite do it. And Whiston just kind of shakes his head and says, "I'm sorry, Tendrix. Your father is currently away from the manor."
would I be able to help her roll?
Yeah.
Or persuasion?
yeah. I'm thinking, like, there's no way. Like,
She shows him, the stain on her dress. I was just attacked down in the gardens by the servitors. You must do something about this at once. And Winston kind of tilts his head a little bit, looks at the other bodyguards, looks back at her. She says, I'm afraid your father gave very strict instructions about the manor and your person. I will attend to your protection.
So
Gestures. 2 bodyguards start to walk towards her and stand on either side.
I'm not sure
All right.
that those will
Well,
be
then.
needed here, Winston.
I'll say, sir, I was not impressed with the protection you offered earlier. This last would have been skewered for sure.
I'm pretty sure I already know what the answer is, but when she says I was attacked, it's like he's not at all surprised by that.
Why don't you make an insight roll?
All right. Insight roll. What is my
Difficulty's gonna be
insight? My
5.
insight is a 3. All right. That's
Ooh, it's a pretty good roll, but yeah, he's got. I think I described him earlier as being stone faced, if you remember.
Mhm.
You would not want to play any kind of card game with this gentleman.
My lady, I fear for your father's
He's a
safety.
Pulling out the pistol, putting it behind my back, just making sure my hand's in it.
Now, where did you say her father was again, Winston? I didn't catch that the first go round.
He is preparing for the high harvest.
Really, what all does that entail? Seems our young lady over here was a little eager to have her first harvest coming up.
Okay, Winston must have balls of steel because he actually just stops talking to you, turns his attention away from you, and looks directly at Lucia and says, Miss, it would be wise for you to escort your friends to the librarian and educate them in whatever matter that is that they came seeking. The Baron will see them after the high harvest, but not before.
I step forward at this point, hoping my Space Marine is
Dun, dun.
at the ready. Did we see Omala drawing her pistol?
Sounds like it. She was putting it behind her back, I think, right?
Right.
Me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that, yes.
Right. So if our negotiator is getting ready for a fight, then so I'm
Well,
stepping forward, and
Guy, just really quick, you're pretty sure the bodyguard saw it too.
right. No, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. But my cue is she's the one who diffuses situations. Now she's the one drawing a weapon first. She's picked up on something that I have not, and I have learned to trust this young acolyte. She is an inquisitor after all. She has that going for her.
I assume she didn't flub her insight roll.
Right. So I'm going to step forward and look at Winston very, very, very coldly and very clearly. The daughter of the Baron was attacked on your grounds and on your watch, and you are dismissing us to an observatorium, a library of some kind, to learn about some irrelevant festival? You will immediately escort us to a communications relay where we will make contact with the Baron. If you fail to do this, I will assume that you are working with whatever forces are attempting to assassinate his daughter, and I will execute my duty. Is that clear?
That means right now.
I've already witnessed corruption here on these grounds. That is enough to bring the God Emperor's fires themselves down upon this place.
Winston seems to consider that statement, and he looks back at the face of Commissar Lynn. Now, Commissar Lynn has a very prominent scar from her time in the Indomitus Crusade. She is not a woman to be trifled with. And Winston seems to just sort of incline his head fractionally. If you wish to use communications gear, a Vox station will be made available to you. I will have my men escort you there now.
Right. I look to our Inquisitor. Does she seem to approve of that course of action? She's got the bolter in hand.
Las pistol, actually.
Las pistol, sorry.
Okay, so the pistol quietly goes back into the holster.
I have this impression that Lady Aloretta thinks she's way sneakier than she actually is.
Yeah, 'cause she has not done all this stuff.
I mean, could you even like miss it the first time and have to go? I think that would even be kind of cooler. She's like, I totally think I'm smooth, but yeah.
No, please explain to me. Chick. What are you saying?
All right,
Chick.
Yeah. The bodyguards will start to escort you downstairs, and Lucius is like, I know the way. I can take them. And she looks to you like as if to question whether you want the bodyguards to go with or not.
No, why don't lead away, gentlemen. Lead away.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to keep them in front of me.
Fair enough. So let's take a quick break here, just to check. You guys have all done really great role playing, so I want to make sure everybody's awarded with a point of wrath at this point in the story. Cody, everybody gets a point of wrath. And on top of that, guys, do not forget about your objectives. That is another way to earn wrath if you are running low.
So everybody has 3 wrath except for Dave, who is back there with 2.
So another thing is that my objective was display a symbol of your authority and use it to firmly establish your position in an interaction with another NPC. I believe I did that one.
Okay, with the at the very beginning, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So
Right.
you have achieved your. The goal is when you do that, you should be like, "Hey, GM, I did the thing."
Okay, because I didn't want to bring it up at the point, and then it was like after a certain period, it was like
No problem. So yeah, Ben, you will get you have achieved your objectives. So you get a point. Does everybody seem to enjoy it? Understand how the dice are working?
yeah, I get it.
Okay.
You're talking about the objectives thing on the second character page, kind of in the top right-hand corner, right?
Yeah.
That was the D6 we rolled at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right, and everybody's understanding how the dice work for the task resolution. Everything all good. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Great.
We're totally lost, Ross. Help us.
No clue, honestly. I've just been picking up random dice. And then
Would I roll, Ross? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
Awesome. All right. So yeah. Also, don't forget, Guy, that you are currently suffering. You have taken some shock damage, and that does not go away until you guys take a rest of some kind, and you've kind of not been doing that. So that's going to stay with you for a while. However, Dave, just FYI, one of your abilities is to heal shock. If you feel like preaching in battle, you can do that. Just FYI. So. Let's see here. Moving right along. So you are being escorted downstairs by the 2 bodyguards. You guys are like way off script at this point, which is great. I love it. I'm improvising. You're being led downstairs past all these sculptures and busts of the Zorus family. And again, you're struck by just how robust they all look in their sculpted forms. Just comparing them to Lucia, she does not come off well in that comparison at all. Perhaps they just have paid, extremely well to have artists depict them very kindly, but maybe not. Nevertheless, the staircase winds down past the main level where you guys were and into the basement area of the mansion. Cody, are we doing okay on levels? Everybody's good on sound? Okay, that's thumbs up. And in the basement levels, you are looking at lots and lots of servants. There are several groups of servants that are basically moving boxes out of what looks like a wine cellar. You can see other ones are working in a kitchen. You can actually even smell the food being prepared. Probably Dave at this point, Peter Nemoris is actually kind of hungry. Walking by this display, you actually can see. These are definitely preparations for some sort of big event. There's seats and chairs being moved about and things of that nature.
I would talk with the rest of the group and with the lady and say we might have to check some of the servants to see if they have corruption or not.
I'm not skilled in the arts of the Mechanicus, but servitors, are they able to operate independently, or are they controlled in some way? Does anybody know? And I'm also looking out for any servants who have mirrored faces.
Well, all of the servants have mirror faces. So number one.
Right. So my hand is resting on the hilt of my my power sword. This is a bad place.
Number two, Guy, your experience, your character's experience in the Austrian Militarum, the Imperial Guard, is that servitors are generally controlled by tech priests. They are
right.
There's like a punch card system that that they use to sort of accept new programming. However, there are stories that corruption can change the programming of even the most pious man. So, right, this is the case of you're saying I'm not a programmer, but that doesn't seem right to me.
Right.
That is accurate as far as that goes.
Is there not some form of test or something you can do? I kind of look over at Pater for help with that.
Lucia's like and starts hopping up and down, actually trying to get someone's attention.
Yeah.
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 Are you talking about the servants?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
And asking if they're corrupted?
Yes.
She's like, well, some of it. So, some of them are human. My chambermaids and the main chef, they're all just people. I know one of them, Mannix. He's in charge of this level. I could have him come over and speak to us.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is the road trader really interested in how our servants operate?
Your servants attacked us.
Okay.
Only when they shoot at us.
So there's two questions. One is we're still being taken to talk or to go to the communications, correct?
The bodyguards, the bodyguards are not in a hurry. They're just looking at you and waiting for you to continue.
The second thing I would be thinking about is that if it's possible the corruption, like, do I know if it comes from the tech priest? Like, if it's corrupted, like it had to have been a tech priest that did it. And that would be a red flag that we have to talk to this guy.
Okay. Tech priests are definitely the ones who most often work with servitors, but they are, again, ubiquitous. Like, they're everywhere.
Okay, gotcha.
So the fact, servitors acting weird does not mean the tech priest is behind it. It means that something hinky is definitely going on, though.
I would just say we'll just be cautious. Let's go and speak with
Okay. I need to make a roll really quick, so I'm going to grab the D6.
How screwed are you guys?
We've never had to improv a game session, Ross. Never. We've never done any of that before.
Okay, so
literally the first time we've ever had to improv.
That's a crappy roll. All right, so as you're discussing this, a servant carrying a tray full of I don't know, what's something you would have for this? Let us say it is decorative cakes. Okay, like a tray, like hors d'oeuvres, basically. Is walking by, and rather clumsily tries to slip a piece of paper into Lady Ermela's hand.
I take it.
Just the worst handoff in the history of clandestine handoffs. And the bodyguard instantly puts his hand on the servant's shoulder, shoves it up against the wall where the mirrored mask falls off, and you're looking at a very scared young human. This is not a servitor at all. And the bodyguard's like, "Wow, what are you doing? How dare you?"
Pardon me. I wouldn't mind one of those, and I'm just gonna kind of step up and kind of get right next to him and try to get the hors d'oeuvre and try to get myself in between them.
I'm going to stealthily try to open it and read it.
Okay.
So much stealth. What's in this letter?
Go for it, man.
Stealth. All right, 4. Let's go. Boom.
Hey, 4. That's not bad. Okay. Maybe this maybe this student was kind of a crappy like spy. But you're very like putting it in your hand like you're taking a test in high school, looking at the answers. You're like, yes, I see. You very clearly can read the note. And the note is scrawled. It's very hasty handwriting. But it says, meet us in the librarium, and underneath it is signed M.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the bodyguards, they are going to execute this servant. So we will begin a round of combat.
Okay.
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
hell yeah, we will. Just giving us
The bodyguards have their, like, you are done.
She's bringing us information and cake. What more could we possibly want?
Cake or death.
Cake or death. Hashtag cake or death.
All right. So as I said, normally the way this works is player characters go first, and then I will take my turn as the GM. If there's an ambush situation, like you guys noticed or anything like that, that's the time when I can go first. Also, I, as the GM, I have a resource called Ruin. And Ruin is equal to the number of players I have. So I have 4 players. And I can spend a point of Ruin, if I wish, to act first in a round of combat. I will, in fact, spend a point of Ruin. And one of the bodyguards has the servant up against the wall. There's a brief flash of the las gun, and there is a neat black hole right in the temple, cauterized completely through. The servant drops bonelessly to the ground. He just took Bluer Brains up there.
I'll say that seemed a bit hasty and unnecessary.
That was my action to start the round. So it is now player. One of you may act.
Just a point of question here. These servants, would they be slaves or would they be free peoples? Would we know that?
Yeah. So, okay. The Imperium in general is a pretty oppressive regime.
Right.
The lore kind of makes it where this is required and necessary. It's pretty much the only way for humanity to survive. But what that means is that when you have imperial nobles and you have their servants, slavery is kind of it's on a spectrum, right? They're probably just below slavery, more like indentured servants, but right there, they're on the spectrum, if you want to put it that way. If
right,
spectrum. Wow, I can't even believe this is something I'm discussing, but yes,
and it's recorded. It's recorded on the internet for forever.
And it lives forever on the internet. And the spectrum of slavery, yeah, they're like just underneath it.
So would this be something that I'm just trying to get a sense from our mission here? I mean, we're here to try and bring the Gilead system into line.
Yes.
Would this kind of execution be something that would be acceptable for the rest of the servants to be able to see, or would this be something that seems to be over the top? So I'm just asking from a character perspective. What would...
Well, from a character perspective, if a servant were to step out of line, an imperial noble, especially one as influential as you've been told Baron Zorus is, and he wanted to just like make that servant go away, yep, totally fine. Nobody would bat an eye.
Then that's fine. All right. Perfect.
And they're the good guys. Like, that's the thing.
That's
the last best hope for humanity. Anyway, you know what? Hope, there's things in the setting though are kind of moving it in interesting directions. The Dark Imperium is very dark, but there is also sparks of hope. We'll get into that later. But anyway, point is, yes, this is permissible in their society. And they kill it. I presume you guys wish to intervene, which is why we entered into combat. If you guys are just gonna be like, well, that sucked, and move on, then we don't have to get into combat.
I mean, it really just depends on how acceptable it is. Honestly,
I think my character would try and fight, because it's like, here's someone who's giving us information, and this guy is killing them. Like, we let them live. They're just gonna kill anyone who's trying to help us in the future.
And if Lady Ermala pulls out a pistol and fires it off, I
think Ben should go first in this.
Yeah.
I am going to pull out a my own pistol, and I'm just gonna kapow, try and kill that guy.
Okay.
Just like, I'm pissed off, and try and shoot him in revenge.
Fair enough.
So that is damage. To hit, or the
You're gonna use ballistic skill.
Ballistic skill. All right, that's a 7. So
Now, here's something that I would like to point out to you. We have not been tracking bullets.
Okay.
Individual shots. And the reason for that is, like, as a game designer, I don't like bookkeeping at that level. I really just don't care for it. So instead, in Wrath and Glory, we track what are called reloads. You have 3 of them. And essentially what a reload is it represents, it's an abstract representation that you guys are carrying lots and lots of ammo. If you wanted to just fire your gun normally throughout the adventure, you would never have to reload. That's fine. It's not a big deal. It's assumed abstractly that you just have that much ammunition. If, however, you would like to empty the clip into an opponent's, you can spend a reload and get a bonus. And that bonus is equal to the salvo rating of your weapon.
Well then, just you know what I'm gonna be doing.
Also, you can aim and get a bonus.
So that's going to be, all right, ballistic 7, and then my salvo for the last pistol is 1, so that would be 8, correct?
If you wish to aim, you can make it a 9, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's going to be, I'm going to roll the 1 and then 8. That's it for me.
Okay, so the Wrath die does not come up anything special. And your target number, by the way, these guys are... They are a defensive 3. So target number is 3. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, you hit like crazy, and you can shift both of those 6s to damage if you wish.
So I'm just like push, just just firing the gun at him.
A few lasers. So yeah, roll me 3 dice. Your weapon starts with 1. And this is a good moment for a quick explanation. In Wrath and Glory, any kind of personal weapon is usually 1 dice of damage, plus whatever you get for shipping. If you want to take it up a level to something that is like a heavy weapon, like a bolter or something along those lines, it starts with 2 dice. Anything that's anti-tank, like a las cannon or something like that, starts with 3, and anything bigger than that starts with 4. So it's just an easy representation of how big a gun you're wielding is how many dice it starts with to roll.
Okay, 3 dice, correct?
Yeah, and you're adding 2 because of your skill.
All right, 3 dice. There you go. That's it.
GPU laser. So you add 1, you got a 5 in there. Your pistol is not brutal or anything, so you don't change the numbers. So that's going to be a total of what, 8 damage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, doke. And they have a resilience. Ooh, unfortunately, they are a little too tough for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, these guys are what are called elites. They are not faceless mooks. They have a title. In this case, they have the title of Oathsworn Bodyguard. So they are serious business. And your last pistol, unfortunately, in the Imperial Guard, these are called pejoratively flashlights. They are a light weapon in both senses of the word. And what that means is you blast him, and the hit is on target, but it burns away like the tabard to reveal some armor plating underneath. These guys are very well armored.
Yeah,
Cody?
you're gonna get some more. There's more where that came from. I got. Wow.
All right, Cody, give Ben a wrath point. That was funny. And do you guys have any glory?
You have, or make sure I'm not muted here. I'm sorry, I gotta check. We have 2 glory currently.
Would you like to spend one to seize the initiative?
I think we have to, given the fact that our Inquisitor has gone from being an apologist to the most aggressive savage on the planet. I think we need to.
what?
Remember, she didn't just shoot him; she emptied the clip.
Yes, that's quite right. So there's definitely she picked up on something. I don't know what she's on here.
Sorry, I can
possibly
persuade him. I'll persuade.
Reed's character's
right.
bio, very persuasive. Action, empty entire clip.
right.
Use the initiative, and who would like to go?
Well, I think Cole, you should just kill him.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
Do you want to use your knife?
Yeah, I was just thinking I'm up close and personal right now, so maybe some knife action would be perfect. So as soon as I see him kind of pull her down and then just fire off this bullet, you know, Urmala's already going into action to unload a clip.
Empty the clip.
I'm just gonna spring
with the
up,
knife,
and I'm gonna try to take this knife and pull it and just immediately, kind of furiously, just jam it right up into his throat here.
All right. So a Space Marine's combat knife is roughly the size of a sword.
Oh yeah, and I mean the same thing.
Okay.
Let's jam it all the way. No, yeah.
No, that's fine. It's totally fine.
Let's go with this. So this is it weapons skill? Is the
it would be. Now here's an option for you. So in combat we have a number of options, but I've talked about a couple of them: salvo, aim. There's one such as called shot, for example. In this case, what you could do is you could do an all-out attack, which adds 2 dice to your attack roll, but subtracts 2 from your defense because you're leaving yourself open for the. You're full offense, no defense.
Oh, I'm furious. I'm absolutely not having this right now. So I will do an all-out attack and leave myself slightly defenseless here.
All right, so it's gonna be plus 2 dice to your weapon skill, so you're gonna roll 10.
So I have a 9 for weapon skills.
Oh, sorry, roll 11. Sorry about that. Okay. Math.
Well, I wanted to make sure I was doing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is so much dice. That is so satisfying. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And you only need 3 to hit him, so both of those 6s can be shifted to damage.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then so 2 more. So for a total of 12.
Okay, so you shifted 2, and you start with 1, so you're gonna need to roll 1 more die.
1 more die. And actually, I want to confirm that what the actual weapon is, because I think the combat knife. Oh wow, the combat knife is 12 plus 180, so that would be a total of 14.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, you're a beefy Space Marine. Other Space Marines in your squad are smaller than you. You are like.
I'm cold.
Yeah, in the tabletop, you are a strength 5. Just FYI, you are seriously bulky. So yeah, when you get your knife out and jam it in, it hits hard. So that's a total of 14. My resilience is good. It's not that good, and so me and my wounds are gone. So yeah, you just describe how this guy ends his life. It's gone.
I'm just gonna kind of pull out. Shouldn't have done that. And as I go to pull out the sword, I'm gonna kind of try to grab him. And he's gonna naturally try to just throw up instinctually, try to block, and I'm just gonna ram everything through both hands and up out the back of the head, all the way down to the hilt.
Yes, and to display your superhuman strength, I mean, he puts both hands on your one hand, and he's like, "Aah!" It doesn't stop it at all, right? Yeah, you just power right on through, and that guy falls right down to the ground.
As he kind of hits around, some bitch, and just kind of spit down on his corpse.
And that was the one who shot the servant, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or presumably. I mean, unless Lady Ermala hadn't blown that guy away previously.
Pretty sure that's the guy. So I have one of the bodyguards left on my turn. Clearly, Brother Call, you've left yourself open, so you will be the target. And yeah, let me take a quick look at this guy. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna whip out his dueling las pistol. Normally, these guys would have to make a resolve check because that was really nasty, and this guy would probably be like, "I should run. I should really just run. I'm outnumbered. I should run." But these guys make an unbreakable oath, and it's actually a special ability that they have. So while their guy that they're guarding is still alive, they do not have to worry about resolve. And they are sworn to protect the Baron. So as long as the Baron's alive, this guy is not going to run from his duty. And I guess at the moment he sees his duty as killing you. So, yeah, I know, right? Thanks.
I should just point out this is the worst trade delegation ever.
All right, his force feels pretty good.
Yes, probably.
I'm going to do 5 and then 2 because that's the way the dice work. Oh, what a terrible roll. Look at that. Jeez. All right, I'm spending another point of ruin because that's just awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get to re-roll. Boom. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 total, which is just there's no 6s in there at all. Ugh. That is awful. And a complication. Okay, yeah, great. I'm having a good day. Okay. Sir, you've been shot. I'm going to roll a single die. I think. Let me double check that. Is that dueling last pistols? They get 1. Yeah, it looks like 1. And there's no armor penetration on this at all. So I would need to roll really great. Let's see if we do. No, nope. Wah, wah. Somebody play the sad trombone for this guy because that was a shot. So yeah. The dueling las pistol, by the way, it's a big beefy las pistol. Like compared to Lady Alarette's one, hers looks more or less. I mean, the dueling las pistol is like covered in gold. It's got all this like inlay. It's like a pearl handle on it. It looks gorgeous. Whereas Lady Alarette's is far more, like army issue. But it makes hers look like a cigarette lighter when it goes off because there's a big blast of radiant light that strikes right at the center of your Space Marine ceramite power armor and leaves a small black suit mark on the otherwise white paint. It's a Pulp Fiction type moment where Cole's like, really? Yeah. That was it. I even spent ruin on that roll. Yeah, the Oswald bodyguard, just you can see him just kind of go, oh.
He's in so much trouble.
Yeah, that was my turn, and I have no one else left to go. So someone, it would be Guy or Dave next.
So I'll jump in here for a fiery invective.
Oh,
to offer up some healing to the connoisseur. So that's a die 3 plus rank. So would that be 3 plus whatever the die 3 comes up with?
So your rank bonus is 1, and you add that to the D3 when you roll it. So roll a D6 and cut it in half, basically, is what you do.
All right.
So that'd be 2. So you're going to heal a total of 3 shock. But you are required to actually utter a short prayer.
Let the God Emperor's goodwill come over you, my brethren. Feel it course through your veins. Say it, you feel good.
This preacher's way of speaking is very unusual, but it does inspire you. And you are healed some shock there, Guy.
Absolutely. 3 points, correct?
Correct.
And with that, I would like to take my chainsword saw to the other guy.
Yep.
I'm feeling the holiness rhythm through me. And
do you also want to try an all-out attack?
You know what? Now I'll just go the regular attack. That's 4 to connect.
You only need 3, so that's a hit. And that means you can't shift anything. So you need both of those 6s. If you want to spend a wrath to make this a more impactful hit, you could re-roll those failures.
You know what? Why not? Why not? Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, that's much better.
You should have only rolled 6 dice there, Dave. Sorry. You're only re-rolling the failures.
Oh, that would be what? Okay, gotcha.
So you're currently at 4.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. And you can shift. You can shift 2 of those 6s.
2 of them. Okay, so I'll add 2 of the damage. We've got a 9 plus I will roll 1 die.
So it's going to be. Then you shifted 2 more, so you're going to roll 2 more dice.
Oh, 2 more dice.
Right, you shift both. Anything you shift from the attack roll goes into damage.
Okay, so I should have rolled 2 dice or 2 more than the 1.
Okay, so you start with 1, and you added 2 from the shift, so you would roll a total of 3.
Okay, so all right, got you. Thank you.
All right, now this is where brutal comes into play. All right, because that 5 becomes a 6 and 3 becomes a 4. So you go from 2 icons to 5 icons. Yeah, brutal works.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a 14 total.
Yeah.
Nice.
And again, I'm tough, but I'm not that tough. So why don't you tell everybody exactly how you cut this guy apart?
Preaching the God Emperor's good word makes you feel so good. And with that, he just lashes out with the chainsaw sword and takes this guy's head off.
Wow. Yeah. You lop it off. There's a arcing spray of crimson that paints the wall red. Some of the servants are in fact human, and they run away screaming as the scene of violence.
Stay with me. The God Emperor is good.
No,
Come
wait,
on.
wait, come back.
And you're standing amidst the murder scene at the moment with Lucia, who's just, she takes a second, delayed reaction, sort of looks around, and then and she starts screaming too.
Can I move up and try to put my hand on her, ma'am? You need to be quiet. That's enough screaming there. All right.
She cuts off as soon as the hand gets on her. She looks up at you like, and at the bloody knife in your hand, and then looks back up at you.
Do you have some trusted servants that could?
Let's go to the librarium and see if we can meet up with some people. Apparently,
she says, "I trust Mannix. He's the head of the human servants. He's the chief."
I'm gonna lean in. Well, why don't you go get Mannix and have some of this taken care of while
I don't know where he is.
Well, ma'am, do you know this?
Well, then why'd you bring him up?
let's go to the librarium.
Marla, before we go anywhere, why did we just kill 2 bodyguards?
Oh, you're talking to me? Or no?
Yes.
You're Marl. It was... Look, these guys were very clearly a part of this situation. It's like they had passed me a note, okay? And they were interested in informing me. Obviously, the servant knew that they were a part of it and wanted to conceal it from them. And so they killed them to prevent us from finding out more information.
Well, there you go.
Understood. Very well. Then what is your recommendation, Inquisitor, considering that we seem to be trapped in some kind of conspiracy?
Well, they said, and so I open up the note, and it says, meet us in the library. And so it says, clearly there's some people who've uncovered some information that will help us get to the bottom of this. I'm thinking we should go to the librarium and speak with whoever knows what they know.
Yeah, you should probably come with us. I'm gonna kind of point over here to her.
Lucia?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and looks at the floor and looks at the bloody knife. Oh, yes, of course. I agree.
Ma'am, who is the servant they executed?
I'm gonna be so pissed off at it if it turns out they're all the good guys and it's like, oh, persuasion. Don't worry, everything's fine. We're fine. You're fine. I'm fine. We're all fine.
Nothing.
Everything's fine. She says, I don't know. I'm afraid I don't know her name. Most of them go around in masks. I only know, honestly, I can only name a few.
Well,
I was just curious because their servant just gave their life to deliver that message.
She has the good grace to look very ashamed at the moment. She just kind of looks at the floor.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
You can see the hints of shimmering at the edge of her eyes, like she's just about to cry.
It's all right, Lassie. You can let it out. Let it out.
You're
the healing of the God Emperor.
Listen, everything's gonna be fine, but we should go to the librarium.
Okay, just follow me. And she brushes her tears away and squares her shoulders. I'm bumping the hell out of my microphone. Sorry, guys. Everybody hears me smack the microphone because it's in a different position than it usually is. My bad. It's all Cody's fault. Just tell him. It's Cody's fault.
Jesus.
Is that a euphemism?
For smacking my microphone? Oh, that's pretty much exactly what's happening.
Well, it is now. I mean, if it wasn't.
Well,
all the kids are calling it that these days. We were down at the park.
It's not a family-friendly show. It's fine. Go for it.
Well, that went out the window when you mentioned cherubs. So
Right.
Listen, I didn't come up with them. All right, that's just a part of the set.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lucia's like she is brave, but you could tell she's shaking like a leaf as she starts to lead you up to the librarium. She's like, what did the note say exactly? Who were we meeting? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I just opened the note and it said, I'm trying to remember exactly. It was like, meet us at the librarium if you want information.
Signed M.
Signed M.
Yeah. Well, the trek to the librarium is short. She basically takes you right upstairs and into a room that is full of books and scrolls and maps. and there are stuffed six-winged raptor birds. There are candelabras that are made out of human skulls. It is a very macabre room in many ways. And standing in the room as you guys walk inside, you can see one of the servants, and it spins around to look at you with that mirrored mask. And there's just sort of a brief moment of tension before the.
I'm holding my pistol out.
pulls the mask off, and beneath it you can see a very round, like a moon-faced man with a squint as he kind of peers at you. He's like, "Oh, welcome, Lucia. Are you all right, my dear?" And she runs into his arms. And he's basically patting her on the shoulder, and he gives a death glare right at the commissar, like somehow blaming this all on you. You're not exactly sure why, but I guess he just chose you at random.
Do you know this person? I assume you do if you gave him a hug. What
Yeah, she's between sobs. She says, "This is Mannix. This is Mannix. He's the manservant. He's in charge of the household." "What are you doing here?" she asks him, bewildered. And the manservant, he will, turn back to you guys and say, "I understand you're here seeking the Baron."
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's how it all started, but, things haven't been going exactly easy.
Mannix says, "I will tell you everything I know, but first I wish you have to take me with you when you leave. Something is very, very wrong here."
As they're talking, I begin looking around. This is like a library, right?
Oh, yeah.
I am looking for scripture.
As long as you behave, help us out, and don't cause, trouble, betray us, I'm sure we could work something else.
So, Dave, you're checking out the librarian. Well, what's interesting to you is that there is quite a few books on Medicae and alchemistry, scholarly pursuits that are not typical for imperial nobles. Most of the time, those guys are worried about family trees and business and trade, and you're just like anatomy book after anatomy book after book about chemicals and things of that nature. You also spot a very large rack of scrolls, and it looks like a couple of them are a little bit ragged, like they've been used quite often. I think that's probably all you would see from just looking around at the shelves.
Is that a good amount for the type of place this is?
It's a big room full of stuff, so yeah, absolutely. This is about typical, you would say, although the subject matter seems a little unusual.
Okay. Well done, lady. Well done. Your family has good standing with the God Emperor, I can see.
Carl, can you secure this room before we continue any further?
Not a problem. And I'm going to just, as soon as Commissar Lynn tells him that, he's going to just step over and kind of keep eye watch at the door. Crack it a little bit so we can listen out as well.
All right. You've got your bolter out in your hands, and you're keeping a sharp eye. Mannix turns to you. He says, "The bodyguards believe that you're down making a Vox transmission, but I happen to know that they've ensured that machine does not work. The machine spirit has been leashed in that device. They don't want you speaking to the Baron because he's preparing for the high harvest." And Mannix looks at Lucius and says, "I'm afraid, my dear, this is all about you."
I cock the bolter very, very well. I suppose I pull back on the ratchet system.
Right.
I am getting very tired about this entire situation. We have been lied to from the beginning. This entire affair comes to an end now. What is going on? And if I'm not satisfied with your answer, I will lay waste to this entire facility. I have led men into battle over less. Do not tempt me. Talk.
Well, Mannix looks considerably frightened by all that. He shrinks back away from you, puts Lucia behind him. I don't know all the answers, Commissar, but I know something is very wrong. I've noticed that many of the servants have gone missing, and when they've returned, they've been very different. The high harvest this year, he says it's going to be different. It's going to be, I don't know exactly what he's planned, but something bad is happening for sure. I could just tell. Many of the other servants, they act like slaves. They act like their minds have been taken. Who knows what exactly is happening, but it's something dark. I can tell you that, and I have to escape. I wish to take Lucia with me because the Baron, she's his only daughter, and I know he has something planned for her this year to make her like him. And that just cannot be allowed.
What do you mean, like him?
Lucia kind of pushes Mannix aside, and she takes a breath and squares her shoulders. She walks right up, basically where the pistol, like right poking you right in the chest. Allow me, she says. My father is a very dangerous man, ruthless, but he wasn't always like that. Some years ago, we had some troubles with the fields, and he was despondent. He fell into a despair, and then he went out into the wastes seeking some kind of answer. He was gone for a number of years, and when he came back, it was I didn't know him anymore. He proposed changes that made us more efficient, but all of the humanity in him was gone.
The humanity in him was gone.
That's what I believe.
Do I recognize this as some kind of corruption?
That's a very common, you could certainly diagnose it that way if you wished.
It sounds like corruption.
I detect heresy.
For the God Emperor.
Heresy. All right, Dave gets a ref. Yeah, she looks right up in your eyes and wipes away another tear. She's like, I had hoped that it was just I don't know what I'd hoped, but I'd hoped that it was going to be all right. And when you came, I assumed that you would try to talk him out of it like Sister Aaliyah did.
Oh.
So you did meet the emissary.
Well,
Where is she now?
I don't know.
I look at Mannix. What happened to the emissary?
He says, I personally escorted her into the Baron's chamber, and when I returned, she was gone. I don't know what's become of her, but I assume that it had something to do with the High Harvest.
Where is this High Harvest Festival supposed to take place?
Well, it says they're preparing a pavilion near the family cemetery. Sorry, English. Near the family cemetery, they're preparing a pavilion. I believe it's planned to take place at sundown.
Inquisitor.
Yes.
This is your purview, not mine. This is not a battle. This is perhaps even your area of expertise, priest. I'm not sure.
Really quick. I'm sorry, guy. Really quick, just to be really clear, Ben's character is not an Inquisitor. He works for an Inquisitor.
Right. That's close enough for me.
I know. I just want to make it, the guys in the chat are probably like, but I'm just letting you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. She's the closest thing we have.
Absolutely.
To an Inquisitor.
I was about to point out to you, Ben, that your character is an investigator.
Yeah.
And you're standing in a library.
Oh. I start looking at books and because that is one of the things I was thinking about, where it's like there might be some documentation of these different corruptions that they have been doing on different people.
I will immediately point you to the documents on Medicaid because it seems odd that there's so much of it here.
It's been funny. I've been doing like stealth, insight, like I'm gonna be the rogue, and it's like It's like.
So, Dave, do you also point out the scrolls?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be flipping through them and seeing what information I can get from them about it.
Okay. Well, this is actually pretty easy. The scrolls are survey notes, and you just start. I mean, like this is the scene in the movie where the camera like looks down at the table, and all the characters' heads are like leaning, and you can see the scroll being rolled out, and it's almost like an architectural blueprint. It's survey notes, and they're each scroll is just slightly different ones. What they are is they're a very in-depth look at the mansion's construction as it relates to certain astrological phenomena. Like each of the scrolls covers a different season or a different structure of where the star shines. And you're noticing, I mean, some of the scribbled and handwritten annotations are they're related to the precise positioning of shadows that are cast from the statuary to the walls to the antennas on top. This is highly detailed, but it's all like ceremonial. It's very elaborate, but it's all about some sort of. I mean, I would say your character, you know, this is a little bit out of your expertise, but you're definitely coming around to the idea that this is all about some form of ritual.
Okay.
As you're describing it, I'm like leaning over his shoulder, putting my hand on her shoulder.
Heresy.
Ritual.
Heresy for the god.
His accent completely goes away.
We have to purge for the god emperor.
So why don't you make me an investigation roll, and you will. Oh, there we go. Wow, and that's with glory, glorious. Put down a glory point, Dave. You got a 6 on the wrath die there, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your difficulty was a 5, so you've passed that.
So is that
Very
a group?
good.
Is that a group glory?
It is. Yeah, all glory is group.
Okay.
Wrath is personal. Glory is group. But Ben, you study these, and Lady Ermala is very concerned because this is starting to take on the form of some sort of sacrifice. Like the high harvest is about something more than just the crops.
Oh, the sacrifice. All right, I get where this is going.
And it all seems to revolve around the idea of growth and renewal.
Pulls out the gun. Check. Looks like we. Check. Looks like we have some purging to do.
Well, your character particularly starts to remember all those paintings and sculptures and how youthful and full of life that they seem to be, right? Her family is just, healthy, youthful, vibrant. She herself, Lucia, is just, she looks like she's a product of inbreeding over many generations. Mm-hmm. She doesn't look healthy at all. And tonight, she's explained to you, is her first time at the high harvest as an adult.
Oh yeah, chain sword comes out. All right, good. Puts it away.
So all this information comes together with that. You are the cogitator in your brain. Actually, there's like that scene in one of those movies, I forget, where all the little formula starts to float in front of your eyes and starts to form a picture, and you're just like, you're putting it all together, and now you have the answer. So how in character are you going to tell these guys about what's going on?
Okay. So appears as if the Baron has come under corruption. There's going to be some kind of festival coming out, which is related to it, and he's going to probably sacrifice the daughter. And so seems like we have some purging to do.
Oh no, he's not going to sacrifice her. He's going to he's going to renew her.
Renew her.
Yeah. Someone else is going to be sacrificed.
Someone else is going to be sacrificed. Oh boy.
Maybe that emissary that went missing.
Yeah, Father, this is a difficult situation, is it not? In terms
I think this is not a difficult situation at all. This
Quite
I'm
the contrary, my friend. This is not difficult. This needs to be purged with fire in the name of the God Emperor.
That's one way of looking at it.
What's the other way of looking at it?
He's going to restore his daughter. Give her life. Yes?
I mean, through the sacrifice of someone else.
One of our guys.
Continue the conversation beyond just giving her life. She is his heir. She will inherit all of his interests. She will inherit his title. There is a certain amount of stability that might be drawn from the continuation of his line.
All right, is this kind of magic heresy or not?
Oh, it's total heresy. This is absolute corruption and heresy and wrong on every level.
Casimir.
Besides, if the Baron dies, she will, it will fall to her.
Yeah,
so.
Dave, you are convinced this is chaos.
Yeah.
Of course.
Commissaire, my friend, it does not matter. It is dark magic. It is heresy. This place must be purged.
All right.
Fire and wrath.
And I'm like, look, let's just storm up to the Baron's place and find the woman he captured.
Well,
Sister of Battle must be restored, absolutely.
We'll tell you that the sun is just about at the horizon. Which means the ceremony is most likely about to begin.
Okay. Where is the ceremony happening? Because she had said, "Oh, it's over here." Or something.
Pavilion near the cemetery.
Let's go,
Commissar Lynn.
Sure.
I trust your judgment here, but I got to be candid with you. If it's heresy, it's got to go.
If it is declared as heresy, then it is heresy, and there is no question that needs to be asked. Other than, what is your plan for dealing with Whiston?
I mean,
do you want to face a glorious battle alone, or should we?
I mean, the plan is the same as always, right? Right between the eyes, quick and swift.
So you are declaring heresy, priest?
I do declare heresy.
Mannix is like, so that means we're going to leave with you, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Is there enough room on the shuttle?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess we got enough room on the shuttle or whatever. Sure, that's fine.
Are you a believer, son?
Of course, and he even makes the sign of the Aquila, the two-headed eagle.
Nice.
Now,
have I preached to any non-believers yet?
Well, you're about to.
We're going to preach to the non-believer.
You're about to heresy, so
I don't know if it counts at chainsaw point or not. It's chainsaw sword point.
All right. We're just stay behind us. We're going to take care of this.
Well, why shouldn't we just remain here in safety? Says Mannix.
Yeah, that's
starting
probably,
to sweat a little bit.
Honestly, they're both not the best situations to be in. But if you feel safer here, then barricade the door, except for us, and stay safe. Keep your head down.
Far be it for me to contrary your orders, Inquisitor, but I think that if they're going to try and use this Lucia in any way, they'll come for her. She'd be better served staying with us, surely.
Yes. That is.
We could walk right into the lines then. How about that?
Lucia turns to Mannix. She says, and they did say they were going to burn everything down, so.
kind of is like probably unnecessarily, but just in case, because that's who Cole is. He's gonna kind of go over to Mannix. Now let me tell you, if I find out that you had anything to do with this, it ain't gonna be so pretty for you. And I'm kind of poke him really hard in the chest. Any information you're leaving out?
I've told you everything I know.
I hope for your sake that's true.
He's sweat. He's just like, yes, sir. Yes, of course. Noble angel of the Emperor.
All right, let's go out the window.
Okay. Yes, you guys are gonna A-team this thing, aren't you? You're just gonna run out. Okay. Well, the setting sun casting in these long shadows across the graveyard cemetery of the estates, and you see these tombs. Now, this family is very wealthy, very powerful. Their graveyard is something to behold. There are, some of the stones are carved in like the shape of 7 different, saints of the Imperial Creed, or even like an entire, Astri Militarum regiment for one of their ancestors who was an officer. These are just ostentatious. Imagine, I'm sure you've all seen graveyards that have just enormous, guys on horses and stuff, as part of their thing. Just all of that is in there. And beyond, you can see this pavilion that's been erected. It's basically a gazebo, with this white ivory type wood that's been lashed together with red and purple ropes, and there's bells hung and incense burning in these vast braziers that are hung from golden chains. I mean, this is just it is all of the things you can imagine you would see at some kind of dark ritual. And as you guys come running onto the scene, you see Winston standing off to the side. His weapon is no longer covered in the black silk. It is unbound, and it is a bolt pistol. I mean, it's an ornate looking, probably master-crafted bolt pistol. And in front of him is a tableau where you see they're surrounded by a ring of servants in the robes and the mirror masks. And then in the center, you make out 2 figures, one of which is the flayed body of a human woman. I mean, just you're seeing musculature, right? I mean, all the skin has been cut off in long strips, and there's just blood all over the floor. And standing in front of her is a man, a rather portly looking individual with a jowly face and long flowing curly hair. And in one hand, he holds a bloody knife. And as he turns to face you, you can see the family resemblance between him and Lucia. But he is radiant with health, radiant with vitality. He looks like he could climb a dozen Mount Everests. He just has that exuberance within him. And he smiles this big, wide smile. Ah, our last guests have arrived.
Shoot him.
And with that, he licks a little blood off the knife. And we go into combat. Bang!
Damn.
All right. So, big climactic battle time. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so
we get off one shot and it's like, oh my god, guns! I didn't know there was gonna be guns here. That's like illegal or something. Come on, just break up and to fight.
It's all a sting operation. Yeah, we were just trying to see if you guys. It's all training simulation. Okay, so Guy, you're gonna act first, obviously. So.
I was ordering Cole to shoot him. I'm not. I mean, I'll shoot him. Sure, absolutely. I'll shoot him.
Okay.
Cole's the professional. I'm.
How close are we? How close are we to this guy?
Oh, let's say you are 20 meters away.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, oh hell no, and I'm gonna pull out a crack grenade.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna. I'm just going to toss it right in his hands, pretty much.
That's a ballistic skill test. Crack grenades are anti-vehicular weapons, so this ought to be interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I didn't know what the AP -2 was. Can you explain that to me?
Okay, so AP -2, that is a penalty that comes off of their armor value. It lowers their resilience if they're wearing armor.
Not necessarily a problem for him, though, right?
Well, he doesn't look like he's wearing armor.
Well, just in case.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, you may be about to find out.
Just in
so
case.
make a ballistic skill roll.
Okay, so that's 9. Give me 1 second here. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's roll those bad boys. And then can I? I don't know. Yeah, I want to blast this guy with extra damage, so I want to use one of my wrath points as well.
Well, okay, you'll do that after you roll, right?
Yeah, so I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a 5.
Okay. Yep. And his defense is His defense is a 3, so that will be a hit.
Okay,
And you can even shift that 6 to damage if you like.
Okay, I would, but can I still use Wrath to increase the extra damage?
Yeah.
Like that way I can get extra to shift over?
Sure. So you'll re-roll all your 1s and 2s and 3s. So
Okay, that's yeah, hell yeah, that's why I want to just blow this guy up like right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 failures. So I'm gonna re-roll 5 failures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm really disappointed, by the way. Nobody's got a critical hit the whole game.
Okay, so let's add 2 more to that.
Okay, unfortunately, there's no more of those that are 6s. So it's just going to be the 1 shift.
Okay, just okay.
So your crack grenade, I believe, is. Let's see here.
I'm showing a 14 plus 2 extra damage dice.
Right, and then you add 2 more for the. I'm sorry, 1 more for the shift.
Okay. So here's the extra damage dice, and it's a 1. So fail.
Okay, so it starts with 2, and then you added 1.
Oh,
so
I got you. I got you. I got you here, and fail.
Well, you can spend a Wrath to reroll that as well if you like.
I would, yeah, hell yeah, let's do that. So,
how many Wrath do you have left?
I still have 1 Wrath left after that. So,
okay.
There's all 3 of those, and then all 3 failed again. Okay.
The gods are not with you.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so that's a 14 total, right?
That's a 14 total.
All right, so that's 4 wounds on my guy, and I will attempt to soak that. Named characters and elites. The named characters are called the adversaries. Adversaries and elites can try to soak. Faceless mooks cannot. Okay, they just don't. But this guy can. So I'm going to be rolling. It cost me a point of wrath to do this. That's how many dice. Boom. Looks like I soak all 4 of it. I soak all of it. So the grenade goes off. I'm going to let you do your in-character reaction. You throw the grenade, and he does literally just catch it. And he looks down, and there's a crump. Crack grenades actually work by implosion. It's really weird. So there's this loud, thunderous crack, smoke and dust kind of goes spiraling all around him, and then sucks right back in as the implosion goes off. And you see he's standing there, and like nothing has changed. And he just kind of dusts his hands off like this. And when he does that, his eyes gleam, and you can see this unholy light. I mean, it's so bright it hurts to look at. If you guys have seen a welder, right, in action, you're just like, oh my God, right? That's how bright that light shines out. And his flesh kind of runs a little bit like butter. You see these horns emerging from his head as his demonic nature comes truly to light. This is no ordinary man. This is a possessed mortal.
So as I kind of see this, I'm going to say, light them up, boys! And I'm kind of like going back into like, thinking I'm with all my wife scars, even though I have pretty much 3 women and just Pater, the priest over here with me.
3 women and just Pater.
And Pater. These,
Clearly it's really good clergy.
Hey, Commissar Lynn is a serious fighter.
No,
you should not.
I get that, but he kind of like jumps back into that kind of like mentality of like, okay, because he survived a pretty nasty battle himself at Cadia. So
that's true.
So yeah, and then that'll be the end of my turn. No.
Okay, so Krakenade does nothing, and the Space Marine, true to form, just like rolls with it. Okay, take him out. Right. Everybody else, okay, I need everybody at this point because his demonic nature is real. You're gonna have to make a fear test, and that's gonna be using your resolve. Everybody gets to roll your resolve, but before you make that roll, the Commissar has a special ability.
Correct.
His fearsome respect adds his rank bonus to everybody's resolve within 15 meters of him, if I'm not mistaken. So that means all of you guys are just slightly scared more of Lynn than you are of this guy possessed by a demon.
Everyone but Pater.
Pater's, that part of your brain was taken out a long time ago. You don't have to make a roll. You are literally fearless.
Wow.
Yeah, Pater Navarrete, that he's got a scar right back here, and that part's gone.
Here's my roll.
So you need to look for 3. So unfortunately, Ben, that's a fail.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a resolve 4 plus I get the +1 from Commissar.
Yeah.
That's a fail. That's a succeed for Guy.
Yeah, I get 3 successes. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's a fail for Cole. Ugh. You may spend resolve if you'd like to. Sorry, wrath.
I'm going to spend my last wrath point because the hell with that. I'm gonna spend my last wrath point to hell with that. So
I'd hate to have to shoot you when you run away.
oh my, okay, cool, 3. Thank God.
made it. All right. So currently, Ben is the only one that failed that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. It makes sense for my character to be like, oh,
So mechanically, all it means is you suffer a penalty to all your actions.
Okay, gotcha.
You are not required to run away or anything like that. There is a higher level called terror, which means you can't get any closer. But at the current level you're at, you're just like, oh, shit, that's not good, and it gives you a penalty to your actions. So when that's revealed, everybody feels a kind of a shiver run down their spines, except for Dave and except for Cody, who they chemically don't anymore. Cody, your Space Marines feel fear, but they feel it very differently than normal men. That's the only thing I'm getting across there. Anyway, so that happens, and that was your turn. And unless you seize, it is going to be my turn.
We have to use Wrath to seize, right?
Not Wrath, Glory. So not to metagame here, but this guy did just do his best Frieza impersonation. So I'm thinking let's go ahead and seize the moment and seize the initiative, and let's spend one of those 3 glory as well to let one of my comrades in arms get something off before this guy goes. Yeah,
it costs you glory to seize, so you're going to spend a glory. Ben, Guy, or Dave, who's going next?
Right, I'd like to attack Whiston.
Okay, now here's a I think I'm going to throw in here for you, Guy. 40K and Wrath of Glory is not necessarily all about guns and blades. One thing you can do in this game is called an interaction attack. Interaction attacks are a way to use your persuasion or your intimidation or even your tech sometimes. And what you can do with that is you can actually overwhelm an opponent, or you can distract them, or you can make them more vulnerable. It's a great teamwork move. If you wanted to set someone up for someone else to take down, you could make an interaction attack against them. And if you succeed wildly, you could even cause them to lose their turn. That's like the top level. But you could lower their defense or put a penalty on them. So if you're a character that is a face, you don't necessarily have to use a gun in combat. You can actually be a great support character,
right?
Or even take a guy out of the action. So you may, of course, do whatever you like. I'm just pointing out that you specifically, if you wanted to set someone up, you could use your intimidation as an interaction attack.
That's even better. The reason why I want to attack Whiston, I mean, and Ben and Dave, you guys can say no, you want to just blow stuff up, which is absolutely fine too. But Lynn has been working on this guy. He won the first round. She won the second round. This is payback. He will bow, because he didn't at the shuttle. He did at the boss's office. This is third round. This is game time. He is going down.
All right.
So I like that interaction. So as long as the priest and the inquisitor don't want to act, then I'll happily do it.
Yeah, go for it.
So I leap forward towards Whiston, drawing my power sword, and I will point it directly at him. And I'm going to very quietly say to him, and I suppose this is intimidation. So is this how this attack works? Is this?
Yeah, you'd make an intimidation test.
All right. I point the sword directly at him. I have served under the Lord Commander Gulliman. I have fought in the Indomitus Crusade. I have slain thousands of enemies, but I have never encountered cowards such as those that would stoop to serving that. And I say, point. I cannot believe that a man of your stature would kowtow to something that is not even human. Prove me wrong, and I will dispatch you and your family to the third generation to ensure that this kind of inhuman cowardice is put to rest.
That is brilliant. Cody, can you give that man another wrath I'm just like, here, take.
I mean,
take
I can, but he's got so many damn wrath already. Now you're up to 4 wrath, guy.
All right, so I'm going to spend some of that. Then I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to do an intimidation check here.
Yeah, you're going to roll intimidation. Now, remember, you get to add your bonus.
Wow.
For
I don't know if I need it. I got a critical success on the
Whoa! Add a point of glory.
Wow.
So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hot diggity.
10. Wrath would allow me to reroll 1, 2, 3 dice.
Yeah. Wow.
Go for it.
So we did pick up an extra point of glory.
Because he got the 6
The
on the
natural
wrath.
6. Okay, I got you.
Right. So I'll use a wrath point then just to reroll those 3 failures. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3 dice.
Oh my
boy.
God!
Wow!
Full house.
Wow.
Damn. 6, 8, 9, 10.
15? Is that 15?
15 success.
God.
There we go.
Okay, well, I get to roll some dice to resist.
Oh my
Bend the
we
knee.
hear-
Nope. Not
You hear
even.
water
Oh
flowing
my
in that.
God!
flowing.
Look at that.
Okay, so this is a level of interaction attack called Player's Call. The minimum result is I lose a turn.
Right.
Minimum result. But I'm in character. I'm going to respond really quick, and then we'll talk about what happens. But you lay down the law on Winston, and this stone-faced guy who has shown no emotion. He just he turns purple. Okay, and he's like, "Yeah, the master promised me that he would adopt me into his family and give me the health that they have all endured. I too would live 100 years or more. He promised me." And that's his response. But he is tunnel vision on you. He doesn't notice anything else. So at a minimum, he's going to lose his turn. Is there anything else you could think of that you'd like to add narratively, or is that good enough?
I would hope that he gets so angry, and because I'm pointing a sword at him, that perhaps he would shift from a range attack to a melee attack, so at least he can only engage me. But the tunnel vision
How about this? He just throws away the bolt pistol and draws his weapon.
Nice.
Mastercrafted bolt pistol. Right? You pissed him off so much. Is that cool? All right?
Perfect.
He loses his turn and he just flings away the bolt pistol, draws his sword out, and he's doing that crab walk around you. But he's not going to do anything else. Damn, dude.
Beautiful.
Damn. Also,
Beautiful.
on top of that, you can either give him a penalty to his actions or make him more vulnerable to attack. Which one would you prefer?
Penalty to his attack. Yeah, I think.
Okay. He can't do anything anyway, and he really, really, really can't do anything at this moment. He is kerfluffled. So good job.
Right.
All right, that dude is out of this round for sure. So I may now act because you guys seized. I have a mob of servitors. Faceless mooks, basically. These servitors, there's a group of 10 of them, okay? And in many other games, I would have to make 10 separate attacks. But in Wrath of Glory, we actually lump them together to a single unit. And that means they make one roll.
Nice.
Okay. And they are going to... I'm going to roll a die, see randomly see who they attack. Okay, re-roll that because there's not 5 of you. Go again. There we go. All right, so that would be the Space Marine. Cody, 10 servitors rush you. They just come rushing right at you in this huge mob. All of their implanted weapons come springing out, and they launch the attack. So their weapon skill is normally 5, and they get 1 additional dice for every 2 guys in their group. So they're going to roll a total of 10 dice, and that is an abstract way of representing a huge group of guys is all attacking you at once. Okay, what is your defense? I believe it's 3.
My defense is 3.
Okay, so here's my 10 dice. Boop. Wow. Okay.
What is it with Fantasy Grounds that hates me so bad?
Okay, so I can shift. I hit you, and I can shift 3 dice.
Okay.
Nice.
10 successes.
Oh, well, that's good that you feel better about yourself, that you're having a good time over there.
All right, so that's going to be a total of 12 damage with an AP of 1.
Okay.
at the end of the day. So they come rushing at you. They surround you. All of their blades start lashing out. You're just like, whoa! You're surrounded by these guys. Everywhere you turn, there's another blade, and they're all just kind of or a saw that actually gets on your helmet. Goes, all these sparks go flying out. Your little threat icons blooming up in your heads-up display. And you are even a guy as big as you is like staggered because they just kind of dogpile on top of you. So 12 damage. What does that do for you with an AP of 1?
So remind me, because this is the first time I've actually been attacked here. So
yeah.
Am I looking at wounds? Am I looking at resilience or my armor
resilience?
Value? My resilience is
Soak.
11.
Okay, so
My
1 point off of that.
My soak is 4.
Okay, so your 11 resilience includes 6 points of armor.
Okay.
So 1 point of AP is going to drop that down to a 10, and I did 12. So 2 wounds is what's going to get through.
Okay.
You're going to suffer 2 wounds. You may attempt to soak if you like.
Yeah, let's soak.
Okay, it's going to cost you a point of shock, and then you roll your soak.
Okay, so shock is going to go down there, and I just roll. So I got 4, so I just roll 46.
Correct. Not 40, but 4. Okay, and you're able to turn both of those into shock. So instead of 2 wounds, you take 3 shock.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever played tabletop 40K, but if you have, Space Marines are exceptionally difficult to kill because they wear ridiculously good armor. And these guys, I mean, they would have pincushioned any normal human. They probably would have even wounded a regular Space Marine, but Trojan Call is no normal Space Marine. He actually just kind of stands up and flexes like the Hulk almost, and these, the guys go sprawling off of him, leaving behind all these scratches and deep cuts into the ceramite. Ceramite's it's more like resin than metal, so it actually leaves a big furrow from their blades. But you are not actually harmed. You're just shot. You're shaken up a little bit from that attack, and that's probably what I expected from a mob of faceless mooks. So there you go. I'm going to save my ruin because I have my big bad to go, and I'm going to let one of you guys go next. So it's either Ben or Dave, I believe.
The priest can go if he wants.
All right, so this guy just declared that he wants what they have, right? So does that invoke my hatred?
Oh yes, he's a heretic.
Yeah. So, as he's running towards the commissaire, I run to meet him, unfurling my chainsaw sword, and I am going to try and just disembowel him on my way to the real problem.
Are you gonna
I say, in the name of the God Emperor, this will not stand.
Are you gonna make an all-out attack?
You know what? Yeah, we'll make an all-out attack against.
All right, so you get +2 from that. You get +2 from being a master crafted sword, and you get +1 because you hate heretics, and you get to add a bonus equal to your rank bonus against heretics in melee. So you're up to 5 dice. Now, here's the thing about Wrath of Glory. I just want to really quick cover for you and the watchers. Your tier sets a limit on the penalties and the bonuses you can get. So if we were playing a tier 1 game, it's actually a tier +3 is the limit. So a tier 1 game would be 4 bonus dice max and 4 penalties max. We're at tier 3, so it's max of 6 bonus dice and a max of 6 penalties. And the reason why there's a max is because 12 dice is a lot of fun to roll. 18 dice is fun to roll like occasionally. More than that, and your hands get like tired. Okay, and so we wanted to find that sweet spot, and the way we do that is by limiting. There's an envelope, if you will, of the limits on the dice. And so what Dave is doing here is he is 1 short of the absolute limit of bonus dice that he can throw on this attack. So this represents almost the maximum dice that Dave could throw.
So I think I'm holding 13 dice here.
Sounds right.
All right. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, that's a critical fail.
It's a complication.
Yeah.
We will have to figure out what that means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10.
6, 7, 8.
I actually absolutely want to spend a point of wrath.
Okay, you cannot reroll complications, but anything else you can reroll.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 dice you can reroll. 5 dice, sorry.
5. All right.
Yeah, 5 dice.
So we will do that. Give us more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hit and you can shift. You can shift. Wow. Damn, you can shift 5 6s there, buddy.
I will absolutely absolutely shift them. So they're not dice, they're actual just damage, right? Or they become dice.
They become damage dice.
Okay. And I get 1 for the weapon.
You get 1 for the weapon. You just shifted 5.
Okay, so that's 6.
Right, and it's brutal.
And it's brutal. All right.
Right, this is going to be awful.
All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay, remember brutal adds 1, so that 3 becomes a 4. It doesn't help you on the 1 or the 2, unfortunately. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you add 6 damage to your attack.
All right, so
Damn,
6.
son.
6 to that 9, so a total of 15.
Ow. Okay, I could try and soak it because I am a named guy. Wiston is an adversary. I'm going to spend a point of ruin and try. I swear to God, save my life. Okay, how many? That's 5 wounds is what you got through on him, and oh boy, it's going to be awful. All right, so I get to roll this many. Oh, shit.
Don't sound so excited, Ross.
Yeah, like a
You're
champ.
killing us.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. All right. So well, I'm almost out of ruin. I have 1 left. So Dave goes running at him. He takes the sword. I mean, it's an awesome samurai moment. The sword hits him. I mean, it should go right through. But what happens is Wiston. Oh shit.
You made him vulnerable.
No, he didn't. He put a penalty on him.
Yeah.
None of those were successful. God damn it. Ah! Okay, that was almost a great roll. And then the commissar's like, I'm sorry, Dave, those are not successes. Oh shit. I soaked 2. I needed 6. I soaked 2.
Just the genuine disappointment, Ross, is
Yeah.
Wow,
genuine
he
disappointment.
almost gets out of the way. Dave, how do you want to do this? Tell us the end of Wiston.
Oh, you know what? I am actually, he's barely a blip on my radar because I'm really after the true offender.
Oh, can I suggest something then?
Sure.
All right. So you're going past him, right? You kind of don't care about him.
Yeah. Right? I'm doing a cut as I go by. Right.
So what if that hit is more like a push and it puts him onto the commissar's power sword?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The outstretched power sword.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So you go running by, and the teeth of the chainsaw kind of scrape on the armor. One of the teeth catches like a buckle or something, and it just spins him around and sends him right into the blade. So Guy, Commissar Lynn, is like, as he's impaled on the blade.
If his head comes close to me, I'm going to whisper, to the 3rd generation.
Nice. All right, that is the end of him, and he's done. Wow. Okay. I have 1 guy left to go, which is Baron. Sorry, I don't get the name. Baron Zorus himself. And he will sigh as Wiston dies. He just looks vastly disappointed. He looks like a man who's like, really? I have to do this myself? Really? This is how this is going to go? Pain paves my path to glory, he tells you. My pain and yours as well. And as he finishes saying that, his hands transform, like his fingers turn into these huge, long talons dripping with ichor. You can actually smell the corruption rolling off of him, and the power of the warp is so strong you can feel this almost nauseating, greasy sensation twisting through your guts. Okay, and he's going to take those talons, and not the Space Marine, because the Space Marine's buried in dudes. He's probably gonna. It wouldn't be Guy either, and it wouldn't be Ben. It would have to be Dave.
I'm heading towards him.
Oh yeah.
It would have to be Dave. So
Yeah.
Dave, I'm afraid you and your reduced defense.
Yes. Oh boy.
Oh, my
You are the target. All right. So the Baron comes down off his pavilion, strides purposely towards you, and then lunges forward with his fingers. And his weapon skill is that. So all right. Me and my last point of ruin. We're gonna make this awesome.
Hey guys, while Ross is doing that, everybody be sure to enter into the giveaway for a deluxe copy of the rules. We're going to give away 2 of those, and those are signed deluxe red leatherette bound books, and just absolutely sick giveaway for that. So be sure to enter that and show these guys in this cast with this awesome roleplay a little bit of love as well while you're at it.
Oh, you know what? We didn't address my complication.
I think we're about to.
Okay, so talk to me about your complication, and I have a complication on my attack as well. So this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So you know, I guess I was already kind of vulnerable from it. So what are typical? You know what? Maybe my sword caught, you know, on the
on
Windsor, you know, kind of in a bind as I sent him forward.
So is it like stuck, or did you lose it? I mean, what happened?
You know what? I think I lost it.
Oh, barehanded, you stumble forward. The Baron goes, and he gets you good. Like I'm gonna roll a lot, but he also complicates. So I'm gonna say his fingers get stuck. He's like, and you're like being jerked around. He's like literally he's gonna have to make a strength test to get those things out. But if you can see from my roll here, I only needed 1 to hit you. So all 3 of those 6s can be shifted to damage.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, this is gonna be big. It's also oh god, yeah, that's awful. So it's gonna start at an 8, and this is a brutal attack. So this is 4 dice at brutal. So that's a 6 and a 5, and that doesn't matter. So 3. It's gonna be 12 damage to you, sir.
Okay, so my resilience is 9.
The 3 wounds.
And then I have a soak of 4, so I absolutely want to try and soak.
Right. You soak it, but it's going to turn you into force shock instead.
Okay.
3 wounds into 4 shock because you convert all 3 and then you take 1 more for soaking in the first place. So your Rosarius flares up. Now here's the cool thing. Normally this guy inflicts mortal wounds. Okay, mortal wounds cannot be soaked except unless you have something really cool like a force field or demonic powers or something to absorb it. And out of all of you, the only one who has anything is Dave. He's got a Rosarius, which actually acts like a force field. And there's this bright blinding light as the nails go in, and you kind of lose sight of him for a second. And when it clears, you see the Baron reeling back away. I guess we'll call it he's blinded for the moment instead. And Dave is unhurt. He's just sort of standing there like,
beautiful.
He's the only one. He's literally the only one in the party that can soak mortal wounds. Okay, that was Ben. You're up, and then it's the end of the round.
Okay.
Reckoning, I say. Reckoning.
My character is still kind of afraid from the God Emperor, afraid of the Baron. So he's like, I go for the God Emperor, and I pull out my chain sword and I start attacking the 10 mooks that are going on our big guy.
I'm gonna suggest something here because we are just about at our limit for time.
Yeah.
Ben, you have a really cool thing in Nerdarchy that nobody else has.
All right. Yeah, totally.
Everybody's got a background where they chose something interesting and important for the character. It's like if you chose your origin, you become tougher to kill because you're from a planet that you know very well, and it raised you to be a survivalist or tough and strong. If you have a background in a goal or an accomplishment, you know, like you're a veteran of Cadia, for example, or a veteran of the Indominus Crusade, you gain influence, you gain basically more authority and things like that. People respect you more. You chose a keyword, the Ordozinos. Mm-hmm. Your background is that you have an exceptionally tight connection with your Inquisitor. And once per game, you can call on the keyword that you're attached to for a favor. Basically, they have to take your call.
Okay.
And you have an Inquisitor that you can say once per game, be like, boss, I need you to do a thing.
Okay. I will.
If you wanted to end this right now, you know what? We will use a little bit of dramatic license right now. We'll basically burn all of the remaining glory on this,
okay.
and everybody's wrath. But if you wanted to, you could basically call in, I don't know, you could anything from an orbital lance strike to a squadron of Grey Knight Terminators showing up. You could basically put an end to this and be like, I'm calling in my favor. This is it. We have to end this now.
Okay, calling in like I think Terminators or some high level, like something a very powerful. My character know.
Lance strike from orbit never hurts either.
All right, yeah, Lance strike. I could call that. So I call them up and I explain it. It's like
but I will require you to name your Inquisitor when you do this.
Okay. I was gonna say Naoma Malice. Could that work?
Naoma Malice?
Malice.
Naoma Malice. Very good. Yes. This you will get to narrate the entire thing, Ben, because this is your act. Go for it.
So I will my character is still shaking from this and I reach down, I'm just locking eyes, and I pull up the phone, the call.
It's a Vox transmitter.
The Vox transmitter to Naoma Malice, and they know I would not call on this line if it wasn't something.
It's an emergency code, right?
So because it's just a code, and I call them, and she's like, "What is it?" And I explain, it's like, there's heresy, there is there's been corruption, there's
a demon,
a possession. It's like, we need an orbital strike at this location, and I give her the coordinates.
Okay.
To purge this area.
Okay. And so what's going to happen is all of the little rocks and debris near Dave start to levitate. And the priest has this one moment where he can, from his position, you can actually see the clouds start to swirl and part, and this unbearably bright light. You have like half a second, Dave, to roll out of the way. Even then, your robes are going to catch on fire as the orbital power of a battleship's lance, which is like a high energy weapon, transfixes Baron Zorus. And you just see his body kind of lift off the ground for like a half a second as he lets out a shrieking wail, and then his body it's like Tron. It just kind of de-reses, like you just see little particles. That's all that's left. The ground shakes. You're all flung to the earth from the force of the blast. You can hear the marble stone melting and then cracking as it starts to re-harden, and a glass-lined crater is all that remains at the end. And you have slain Wystan. You've defeated the Baron. The Trojan Call just sets off 2 more frag grenades, and blows the remaining guys off of him.
Apparently, I have an Angel of Death ability.
You do, and it gives you a bonus against mobs.
I can just unload a clip into the mob to clean them up.
So that's going to be the end of the adventure. We'll just if I could get like a couple sentences from you of just your narrative aftermath as you're between now and getting back on the shuttle, what your guys are doing. Start us off, Guy.
There is significant corruption throughout this entire facility. We will have to begin with some serious investigations into everybody, as well as to secure the entire facility to make sure that none of this is stolen or leaked out. So I suppose we'll have to call in whatever chapter is available to come and secure this entire facility. And then I would hand it over to our priest and the Inquisitor, or at least to whomever is available, to then slowly work their way through every single system to just make sure there's no taint left. And I would have a very serious and long conversation with the dear daughter.
Lugia.
She's been bawling her eyes out throughout this entire process. Just played it really cool. She had the servants wrapped around her fingers. She had her daddy wrapped around her fingers. I suspect that this lamb is in actual fact a wolf. And
wow.
with sufficient questioning, we will get to the bottom of it.
I think it's a true fact that no matter what is said, it always sounds far more awesome in a British accent during a game. So, but nevertheless, that does sound amazing. Okay, Cody, why don't you tell us about Trojan Call?
Cole is thrilled at the glory that he brought to the Emperor by rooting out the disruption that the chaos has brought to this family. But he is a soldier at heart, a perfect soldier, cold from his young age. And so while he will accompany the rest of the group as long as he needs to, being cut off from the rest of his white scars, he's eager to get back into battle and will seek out whatever means and ways to make that become a reality.
Absolutely. And does he have any parting words for Lugia or Mannix?
Cole has been a man of many words, and now that they are in better hands than Cole's, he will warn them of the disruption that chaos can bring, and to not fall to that, or else they might come back across Cole. And they better not hope that happens.
All right. Very good. Ben.
All right. So what I would probably do is I would, we still actually technically have the mission, which is Jaquel Veronius was interested in using the resources, working out a deal. And so in the future, what I would be interested in doing is so her father's dead, so potentially she would inherit and get all that property and stuff. And so because we helped her, I could be on good terms and keeping up with her and be just making sure everything's okay. But secretly, I'm trying to make sure that the deal goes through, that he's interested in it. I would also go to the library and be downloading it, taking in all that information and be everything here we need to take because this is information on the end.
If we were playing this as a campaign, your character would gain another point of corruption, which would put you at 4 points, I believe. But yes, but that's all very and good kudos for keeping an eye on the mission, by the way, because that's awesome.
We had a mission.
Dave, what is the final thoughts of Pater Nemoris?
He actually goes to the daughter, and this place is rife with heretics and heresy, and the commissar will root it out. You have only one recourse now, lass. That is to prostrate yourself before the God Emperor and take the cloth. That is the only thing that is going to prove your innocence.
You want her to
become a priest? Yep, priestess.
Wow. Okay. She does consider it. She hugs you and buries her face in your cassock because you were the only one who seemed to believe in her. But she's like, I know. I don't think I would make a good one.
This is not for you to decide, lass. That is for the God Emperor to figure out.
You may talk her into it. The question is who would what would happen to the holdings and the farms?
It'll go where we want it to go. The church should take it over.
You know what? I think that would be a pretty interesting answer at the end, is that she just ends up, becoming a pilgrim and giving away all of her belongings to the rogue trader. She's just like, here, you can have it. It just walks off. That would be an interesting ending. So, all right, thank you guys for playing. I hope you enjoyed Unhallowed.
Thanks for running.
Oh my gosh, this was fun.
Awesome.
So I've got some announcements to make, but first I want to give everybody let's give Ross a round of applause. My gosh, this was so much fun. This was so much fun. Thank you for coming on and running us through this world premiere live event. We really, really genuinely appreciate that. So, all right, guys. So down in the description below, there's a whole bunch of links. First up, you got the pre-order. So if you guys want to go check out Wrath of Glory for yourself, those are special pre-order bundles that won't be available after July 30th. You'll be able to order individual parts from those bundles, and it'll probably be a little bit more expensive to do it than what's being offered in the pre-order bundles now. So if you guys want to check those out, that's going to be the first link there. The second link is going to be a contest. So we're giving away 2 signed deluxe editions of the core rules. So be sure to enter in that. Share it with your friends. Share the love around, and try to win yourself a deluxe signed copy of the book, which is pretty crazy. And then beyond that, we have all of our amazing casts and all of our amazing channels. If you guys don't know these guys here, if you've subscribed to maybe some of us but not all of us, give these guys some love. Ben with Puffin Forest, thank you so much for joining us. We've got Dave with Nerdarchy. Of course, we have Guy with How to Be a Great GM, and I am Cody. This is my channel, Taking 20, whatever. You guys get it. So show those guys some love. We have some incredibly talented creators here. And I guess that's really all I got. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will catch you guys around. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
You got me. You got me.
So what did you guys think of the game? I'm just curious, the mechanics and all that.